Okay.
And we are live. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, tuning in. This is T-Shawn the One. We got our special guest, Hank Russell. And you guys know the devil below, Devil Guy, is joining us in on this podcast at WrestleChat City. And today, it's kind of a free-for-all. We're going to talk about some everything, reaching to the current. Hell, we might ran off into the past, but also we'll do a little review about yesterday's podcast as well. That was pretty explosive. But this is Hank's first time. The guy's literally
Fresh meat.
he's
What?
literally testing out equipment as we speak, which is dope. I mean, fly. I wonder if he can, slide me some equipment over there. You know what I'm saying? Like just
Oh man, I'd be glad to, but I can't. Got no don't have enough money. So y'all doing okay? Y'all doing okay otherwise, man?
I'm doing great. Devil guy, you're doing evil, bad, something.
Depends who you asking.
Um, never mind. But I know one thing. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great.
Yes.
All world heavyweight champion.
When did that happen?
Man,
When
you
did
look,
that happen?
it
When
fits
did that happen?
and it
Ah.
and it matches your T-shirt. So there you go.
Oh, hot as heat merch. Oh, thank you, hot as heat. NOCW official. I pop my tag, show the tag, and all that good type of stuff. Oh, can I show the tag on here? Can I show the NOCW? I can see it. Anyways, but I'm feeling good, man. I was a real deal champ this past weekend. I did my first appearance. I was at Bluff City, and I want to apologize to Johnny Dotson. I've been calling Bluff City Wrestling. I've been calling it Bluff City Championship Wrestling. I don't know where the hell I got championship from, but it's Bluff City Wrestling. So I'm putting some respect on their name. Uh, Pretty nice promotion. Love to see where they're going. We had Johnny Dotson on last night. Yesterday to be because I know it lasted until the night. Because it was like what 3 hours? 3 hours of a
I mean, it was close. I mean, no, actually, it was more. I think it was like 3 hours and like 18 minutes or something like that.
man. Why you gotta make me feel bad about that?
I ain't, make, I ain't making you feel bad about nothing.
Oh no, bull. But yeah, we had a great conversation, and a lot of guests stopped through. Raja and Tattoo, which was like whoa, and those that knew the history and knew. Well, I won't even just say history, the current events. We had been kind of at odds. I know Hank, you peeped in on some of that,
Right.
and all of us had our own differences, but ended up selling a lot of things. And just the goal was to show people how to come together, and just create dialogue in the most positive way as we can, you know.
Right. Well, I mean, it does seem like that there were some rumors that were resolved, some issues that were resolved, things that needed to be addressed. You know, do I feel like there were some things that were unresolved from watching that? Sure. But the problem was that most of the people that didn't resolve the problems were not the ones that chimed in on your chat. So,
And that was my problem. I felt like I gave everyone a chance, and this invitation still extends. Um, whenever whoever feel like they had something at odds with something, or they had an issue, they want to speak up. This platform has never been. I never closed or banned anyone. Have we, Devil Guy, ever banned anybody off off the platform? Like,
I don't think so. I ain't never heard of it.
yeah, no. So my thing
Hell,
is,
I'm still here.
yeah, perfect example.
mm,
Mr. Controversy himself. But that's my thing that I'm saying, Hank, is that I feel like if you had something to say, you would have came on to address it and hopefully put it in the past or work on it, because I'm not like just like you alluded to, everything may have not been solved, but at least we had situations to where people began dialogue.
yes, it wasn't just talking behind backs. There, whether it was in the chat room or those that chimed in last night, Johnny, Tattoo, Raja. Those are the only three that came in, correct?
Yeah, that was it for my yeah.
I don't know Raja real well. We've met over the years, but I don't know him real well, so I don't know what the I didn't know if there was any issues there, but he was. I don't think there really, from what it seemed like, there wasn't any issues with him that much. He was just kind of venting his frustrations about the general state of Memphis wrestling here in recent years.
Yeah. No, Roger had his personal issues with Dotson. Some stuff that what we end up finding out is that it was miscommunication. And I'm
most of the
glad,
time that's what it is.
exactly. And I'm glad that they actually talked about it and discussed it. We created that dialogue because all of it, that's why I say I gave Dotson his credit, man, because he stepped into the fire. And y'all know how I am. I don't hold back. I'm not a rude fucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it 100 and as honest with you and give you a chance to speak. And I wanted people to be able to enjoy the conversation and understand the conversation. Not just because I had issues with Johnny. Me and Johnny always bumped his a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? So I've had my complaints. I'm pretty sure he's had his and so forth like that. But we were always able to come together and voice our differences, and then our family is our friends and stuff like that. So it's just we had to in a way we had to kind of be cool because it's like
right. Well, my thing, there was a couple of things that I don't know who all's watching on the chat right now, but so I mean, it's obviously there were some individual beefs, there were some individual misappropriations, like people being on the receiving end of supposed firings or supposing let goes, temporary unwelcomed invites. There's a lot of that going on around here, but the biggest problem that I have with it is that we alluded to, like, who is relevant in the conversation is my opinion. Who is relevant in the conversation?
Who was relevant in last night's conversation?
Well, they mentioned people out in Millington, the ones in Millington, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw Chris in the chat, and Chris was mentioning, about his situation, and I don't know the details because I haven't talked to Chris in verbal form in a couple of months, but nor I mean, I'm sure he still has my number, but I don't know what happened, why what did he was let go from Johnny's organization for working for another company. Is that my facts, or is that my opinion, or what do I have right?
I was trying to choose my words a little lighter, but goofy shit. This is and y'all know me. That's just how I felt like it was goofy shit. Mm-hmm. Because I'm gonna put it in context to why I feel like it was a lot of goofy shit, because we're grown, we're adults. When you think about it and put logical sense to it, there's no grown man in pro wrestling that's gonna fire me without any paperwork, contract. I'm not fired. That word. Maybe I'm just being.
See, because pro wrestling at this level it's gig work. You go in for the booking, you do the booking, and you go on. If they want to book you again, that's a separate gig.
So nobody's firing. This is to me. That's kind of that's for the real deal marks out there to even get triggered by that. That should nobody be saying, oh, he got fired. He got fired. How did he get fired? Like, no, now we're in make believe world. Like that was something I totally disagree with. It's the choice of words that I didn't like, because to the untrained ear, they would think, oh, he really, like that. It sounds like somebody really got fired. Like you the 401 can't play with this one, sir. Like,
well, yeah, but regardless of the situation, I mean, I've known Chris for over 20 years. And I'm speaking on Chris because Chris is a friend and I dearly care about to this day, even though we don't see each other like we used to. Chris has got bills to pay. Okay, he's got a family. Mm-hmm. He's got how many kids has he got now? 2.
He has a lovely family. Put it like that.
Yeah. He's got it. I mean, the idea is that we did this shit back in the early 2000s. I remember we had a split from TAJJ. And one organization I was working with told me I couldn't work for any other organizations. And I'm like, dude, I'm just an announcer, so it's different for me. But I'm not. I should not have any loyalties because it's not about your organization when it comes to me. It's about me making a name for myself. So who's to say that like Chris? I'm just using Chris as an example because he's a friend. Is that let's say Chris works like 3 different organizations in Memphis. Well, who's to say that somebody from out of town won't book him for 3 times the amount from what they've seen in here, and his options are better based upon working on 3 organizations. He works for what's that one out in Millington he worked for or ran, and then he works with Johnny, and then let's say he's working for what's his name, Tommy Jacks or whatever. And then somebody recognizes him from out of town and says, "Hey, dude, we'll pay you $400 to wrestle or $300 to wrestle." So, Chris
better go.
2002. So yeah, we've known each other for a long time, man, 20 years, and that's Chris's business. He's got a family he's got to take care of.
Well, this is my thing. As wise as we are now within the community, for individuals of our stature that have our mindset and understanding of the business, we shouldn't be saying goofy shit like that. To me, that's goofy shit, and I don't give a fuck who cares or who knows about it. That's not cool. Like I feel like if anybody's pushing that narrative, you know what you're doing, and maybe it's sometimes it's always tongue in cheek. It's they just throwing jabs at each other. But to the fans, some of these fans are very delicate. They will actually believe the wording, and they will be like, "Oh," and then they'll hold it against somebody. Like a rumor, a untamed rumor, can really sometimes be looked at as the truth, and then it affects that person's personality. One thing I'm about calling somebody out on what they really are. Like Johnny, no, I probably couldn't wait to call him out on if whenever he does some crooked shit or whatever like that. Because like I said, we've had our differences, but I'm not gonna call him out on some bogus shit. Like he didn't fire anybody. Like and one thing that I like that we got to the understanding is that Johnny admitted, he said he cannot be me. If you may be able to I may be able to still promote you even though you're on somebody's like we've seen it. We've seen people throw an event in spite of me throwing an event 2 days before using the same people, but yet I still know how to pull my weight. But sometimes
or when they try to book it right down the street,
he Devil Guy knows. He's been there with me. He's been in the trenches, and my thing is the problem is with this one. Dyson admitted, he said, "Hey man, I can't do what he does, like not yet." And one thing about we gotta look at it, Dyson hasn't been this is like his first baby step running or just running a promotion. Like he hadn't done the television and all that. So maybe he does need some time to, maybe he would get to that level where he's able to let people like he's that good of a promoter where he can bring in everybody. He's doing this, but let him get his feet wet. And I don't like what I don't agree with exactly that method, because like I said on live when he was here, I can do it, you can do it, but he feels that he's gonna take his step, and the only way he can operate is if he has everybody's undivided attention. So I don't agree with that, like I said yesterday, because I don't want to keep beating the dead horse, but that's how he feels. He feels like I'm not effective. I don't know how to pull those moves. Johnny doesn't have a street team out there yet. He's not doing all these crazy shit that I was doing, Devil Guy. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. And if he says, "Hey man, I need you to stick with me. I'm doing this and doing this. Hey, shut down other shows and da." Now I would call him, like, if I was one of the boys. If he had Johnny ain't finna book me. If he would have told me some mess like that, I would have said, "Okay, pay me exclusive money." Then we would have parted ways, because he'd be like, "No, look, man, I'm putting money in there." And I would have been like, "Well, I need to put money here." Like, and if say, "Well, that ain't number $50, ain't number $20." Well, it's more than zero. So some got to give.
You'd be surprised, and that's the one thing that wrestling promoters to this day do not have a grasp concept on is budgeting. Is budgeting. That's a big one. You have to get sponsorships, and you have to either that or you have to be extremely, well, maybe not extremely, but if your wealth or your currency is enough to back up your organization, then you need to learn how to budget and use that budget. All right. So, all right, if you have a ring. Oh, and by the way, shout out to Danny Brown Jr.
Matter of fact, go in the comment section. Shout out, what's up, Roger? What's up, Christian Cross? What's going on? Hey, long time no see. And you said, shout out to
Christian Cross. You still owe me a death match.
You can have those. You can take that Nick Gage shit on somewhere else. I can't. It's too painful to watch. But
hey, we do not ever disparage the king up in here.
This is true. But no,
you put some respect on his name.
Yeah.
Or he'll go dominoes on you.
Yeah. But I mean, and keep in mind, everything I just said about the budgeting. I haven't been around the wrestling business for quite some time. You know, I mean, not at least not
quite some time. Yeah, you've been around for a minute.
I mean, I've been around. I've been around for since 2001, but I mean, I haven't been around consistently like I should be in the past. And, you know, I have my reasons behind that. I'll be glad to explain it if it comes up in the questions here, but you know.
Okay. What's the reasons?
Oh my gosh. You ain't gonna let us work it up. You just go, just whip it out.
I'll just Sean, we'll work into that in a minute, I guess. But you know, this is more let's not get too off topic here for a sec. But I mean, that is one of been the Achilles heel is the money. That has been the Achilles heel, number one. Number two, it's been the locations. You know, the locations. I love it when they get these innovative ideas like, oh, well, we're going to do this location because it's going to draw. Meanwhile, it's nowhere near your the neighborhood that you're trying to shout out to. Because most wrestling fans, in fact, I'll just say in the city of Memphis, all of them are middle level incomes and below. That's just how it is. You know, you're not going to see someone.
Don't go to Collierville.
Yeah, don't go to Collierville. Exactly. And, you know, don't go to, you know, I mean, that's the biggest problem. I think that's when I went to your show, what was that during the pandemic, Sean? Where was that at? On Coleman Road?
No, that was Raleigh LaGrange. Was that one?
I think it was technically, okay, Coleman turns into Raleigh LaGrange.
So okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What show was that?
That was that one. Gosh, where was it? It was when dude brought the snake in the ring.
Oh wow, you was at a live chat. Oh yeah, that was oh wow. I think that was that probably was NOCW Out of Declare War. I believe it was right before the invasion.
I thought it was a fantastic show. The only reason why I left is because somebody brought a goddamn snake in the ring.
Hood Rich, I'm snitching.
Yeah, with that goddamn note rope.
Oh man. Oh man, hold on. Was that the day I broke my ribs? I think. I
don't know. I don't know. I ran out the building when the snake came in.
God damn.
Yeah.
The next shows where I came back, I tripped over that motherfucker.
No, that was Summer Bash. No, he was at Summer Bash. He sure was.
Yeah, I know it was. All I know is it was hotter than a crack pipe on the 1st and 15th. So.
Oh yeah, it was packed in that bad boy. Oh man. That's Summer Bash. Man. Wow, Hank. Yeah, because I remember you came up to me and said, hey, who runs this? I said, oh, me.
Yeah, well, the only guy I knew in the building at the time was CeeLo. CeeLo Banks.
Man. Oh, big shout out to CeeLo, man. CeeLo, I know you're watching, you gotta get on the show, man. You always talking about, I'm gonna get on the show, I'm gonna join y'all. Then whatever, you won't see him. But that's my guy.
Danny Brown Jr. says budget is more important. Absolutely. You know, that's the problem with like a lot of these organizations.
Please elaborate on it, Hank. Please don't no filter. Talk about it. Preach.
Okay. All right. There's way too many people running these organizations that don't have any financial backing. And when and the non-filtered version is that you're broke as hell trying to run an organization and you can't even give a simple $20 for a wrestler who's only been for, you know, maybe like a wrestler that's been in the business for, you know, a year or something like that. And you can't even throw them a 20. because you have nothing. I can't tell you how many times I worked for, oh gosh, what was that organization that we worked for 15 years ago? And it was always the same excuse about not getting paid. I'm like, it
The
doesn't
doors
matter.
light, or we had to bring a so and so as a name, and they got all the money.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember which organization that was, but anyway, but that's the thing about it. You should have had sponsorships backing to pay your talent in the first place.
And until you secure your sponsorships, figure your budget. Because I've seen when wrestling was back in Garland some years ago, they were always bringing in, they'd have Dutch Mantel in there, Doug Gilbert and all them. And Dutch told them, umpteen times, quit bringing us in every week or every show. Pay your guys. I mean, goddamn, this is fucking Dutch Mantel telling you this. You might want to listen.
Yeah. You need to have some, especially in this decade, you need to have some financial backing. Unless you're just going to get a bunch of enthusiastic wrestlers in here who want to wrestle for the sake of staying in shape.
And also, let me add to that, wrestlers, boys in the back, please hold everybody to the same level. Because one thing I noticed, the boys in the back say they stick together. That's been a load of bullshit since day one. I've seen that half-ass shit at its best. People, politics, they pick and choose who they gonna weigh in on, who they not. I've seen, and you got the one say, "Oh, well, I got paid. I'm not going." No, stop. Leave that lame ass excuse to the birds. If you get paid and your brother and the brothers ain't got paid, speak up. Say, oh, come on, that or acknowledge to tell the other one. Say, hey, look, don't go telling nobody that you didn't get paid. Go get paid. Fuck that. Like, no, and hold all the promoters up to the same. Stop letting certain promoters slide. If some of y'all, some promoters may have an opposing aura. They have a certain backing. All right, then check your loss. Don't say shit. Don't say a damn thing. If you don't want to do nothing about it, shut the fuck up. Don't mention nothing. Don't say a goddamn word. Just shut the fuck up. Check your loss. But if you think that you can tough up and stick up for yourself, speak up. Say it then. Talk about it. But don't pull no hocus pocus shit. Don't pick and choose who you go. I'm gonna say something now. I'm gonna say something then. No.
And don't be just a goddamn keyboard warrior either.
Well, I will say this. The Memphis, I'll give credit where credit is due. Back in the day, and I'm going 15, 20 years ago, the locker rooms were more tight because we all came in together. Now, as an announcer, I was friends with all the wrestlers, but my position is different because I'm not the one out there taking bumps in the ring.
Uh-huh.
But I believe that the locker rooms were tighter. Nowadays,
see, Hank, I hate to dispute that, but if you weren't one of the ones who came in with those little groups, you were on the outside looking in, and most time of the night you had a fucking target on your back. Why? Just because you didn't kiss the right ass.
I mean, I
tell you that from personal experience.
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen. I mean, let's think about it. I mean, maybe from your experience, because you really didn't have compare. I'll admit that you probably weren't a part of our clique as much as everybody else was, because you kind of were an outsider coming in. So
shit, 20 years later, here I stand.
Well, hold on, now, Devil. You got a home now. You've been accepted now. Unless you got a different story, but you hadn't been shunned out in NOCW. Nobody in the back pushed you to the curb and inside. I think this is. I'm about to say, yeah, you got embraced. So
but like I say, but shit. Back then, if you weren't this shit, it wasn't just not even being embraced. You had a fucking target on your back.
To be fair, though, a lot of the guys that we kind of hung around, we were all, TAJJ guys. It was there was another organization. I forgot the name, but then there was
talking MAW.
Do what?
MAW.
Maybe that's the one I'm talking about, but I'm just
sorry guys. John, fuck you, John. You don't want this title. You want to come for this? Try me. Come on.
I do.
Bring your sorry ass all the way from Illinois and come try to get this belt.
I do.
Sorry, Hank, devil guy.
Okay.
But
That's
John,
okay. And you got to remember that a third of the wrestlers around here were trained by Charlie Parks and worked with Charlie Parks, including yours truly. I mean, I'll say this: in all the years that I was in this around this, when I was still doing it consistently, the one guy who paid me every time was Charlie Parks. Why? Because Charlie had great sponsorship backing. And he said that, and I learned that from him, and that was from 2004. Hell, 2003. I learned that when I was 20 years old.
wow.
You know, and yet I see these wrestling promoters nowadays, you know, they're not getting what they need. I mean, they're expecting the gate to pay for their
That's a big mistake. That's a big mistake. That's a lot of
the door was light, brother.
Yeah, a lot of these lessons I learned way back from doing parties and events. You know, I took some major L's back in the day doing parties and events. You know, I had a lot of success, but I did have some failures. John, fuck you, John. This ain't gonna be no easy win. Look, devil guy. Yo, set that event up, man. Set the event up because he pissing me off now. And Roger says yes, thank you, Charlie Parks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Charlie Parks, man, you know, God rest his soul, you know, rest in peace. I mean, you know, Charlie, I don't know what people knew, what people thought of Charlie because they didn't really talk negatively about him. But all I know is that I got paid every time. I learned a lot. Matter of fact, you know how I knew he had sponsorship backups? Because I remember this one show we did in 2005. It was at one of the armories. And I wasn't even supposed to be there. But I showed up anyway, announced the show, and I had an envelope waiting for me by the end of the show with some cash in it. And that doesn't come from the gate. And that doesn't come from the gate because I'm not a wrestler. That came from whatever sponsorship he had back in the day.
I never had the honor of meeting him. Besides, like, everything I hear about him is always good. You know, I've never heard no.
I only met him once.
Yeah, I've never heard no dark story or anything like that. People always talk positive of him. Daniel Lopez says Devil Guy sucks in the ring. Boo.
Yeah, but Daniel, you swallow.
Raja, what's up, man? Long time no see. How you been, man?
You know Raja might pop up in this bad boy.
I saw him last night.
Yeah, Raja will show. He will pull up with all his glorious championships. Have you seen some of them belts, Hank? You seen all this? That man has a collection. He has a collection of damn near every WCW belt, every WWE. Like he has a collection.
If you wait long enough, the belts will be cheaper. Okay, so they are. I'm just saying. Look, my stepsister had a championship belt made for her wedding. She had a championship belt at her wedding that was made for like $400, and it was custom. So things are getting cheaper nowadays in some aspects, and that's one of the few things that's getting cheaper. I don't, you know, just.
Oh, his beautiful face. Oh, that's just.
What is he like the Excalibur of podcasting? Can't even show his face.
You know what? I think that's what Roger says. No, sir. I wish. The first blood champion. Okay, all right. I see you there. I see your first blood champion. For those who don't know, in NOCW Grand Stage, Mr. Damian Todd, aka Devil Guy, he won the first blood championship. So congratulations to you, champion. Champion. It's all good. But I got a question, you know, because right now, I think currently as we speak, you have WWE Raw going on right now, And I'm gonna say this, guys. Okay. If you haven't caught up to what's been going on lately, Triple H is now in charge of creative and so forth. It's been about a couple of weeks now, ever since Vince McMahon stepped down. But
yeah.
yeah, but check this out though. The product to me, it still sucks. The shit's slow.
Like I say, you can't expect them to pull out just an automatic reboot because we saw how well that worked for WCW back in the day.
Well, hold it shouldn't be a reboot. He was never really gone. It's not like this is somebody who's brand new in the position. This is a flow that could have continued. I mean, all it takes is what I want to say is that the transition is not a hard transition, not at all.
Like I say, the first thing he's doing is bringing back all the people who got shit canned to pay for Vince's little hoe phase.
Well, attempting to bring back.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that interview, that little one-on-one interview with Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins, man, I thought that was pretty intense, man. You would have never had that happen a year ago with the PG era. So they're trying.
Well, there's some things that you slept on. They've had some good, the on screen promos and like they've had, if there's some good promos that have happened that were just as edgy in that era. Go back to the Edge and Randy Orton. Like y'all, people forgetting it's stuff was so far off that we forget. It was just last year, but still, there's a lot of stuff they had stuff that was good, but it wasn't consistent. And what I'm getting now, nothing. It's like the same pace. Nothing's consistent. I mean, I see they trying to push. They're doing the same similar push that they already did with Kevin Owens again. Now he's a tough guy. He's a stone coldish tough guy now. Again, because I remember while they had that run. Now he's doing it again. To me, I'm not a fan of, like, I'm trying to get into W Raw. Like I gave it 3 weeks. I gave it a chance, but it's like it's not giving me what I want. But I enjoyed some of the Castle Clash at the Castle. It was decent. It was missing that little like it was just something that was missing from it. But I will say this and I'll let you guys go ahead. But and now to AEW, because I got to compare both because I get my enjoyment from both. AEW has been giving it to me, but the thing that I find the only thing that's bad about AEW is the fans and their fascination with what's going on in the back. It doesn't have shit to do with what's going on. Their action, their stories are great. They're doing good. But the fans are worried about the wrong freaking thing.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the MJF angle, kind of has manifested into some sort of like what's going on backstage for real type thing, as opposed to what's going on inside the ring. Because if that was the case, then Wardlow would be further along in his career right now if they would worry about stuff like that. And Wardlow should be close to getting he should close to being one of the biggest stars in the company right now. He might already be if they would just push him correctly.
I'm gonna say this. I agree. I'm not even commenting on it because I agree with everything you just literally said everything that I've been thinking. So I ain't gonna even say I got nothing to say. But I'm gonna throw this out there. What if we're all being worked by AEW? Because for one, they know we're nosy. we're some nosy ass fans. We want to be in the inside scoop. We want to know everything.
Right.
But what if we're being worked with the backstage angles? Because think about it. All AEW has to do is to do a Ring of Honor invasion. And then AEW is down. They're down and out. They're getting like the AEW Ring of Honor is winning. Ring of Honor partnered with Impact Wrestling. They're all there and they're putting AEW down. All of a sudden, MJF is the head leader there. MJF is dragging the company down, and he's pulling that whole. I'll leave. I'll go to WWE. I'll go here. I go there, and he leaves off, and now he's Ring of Honor. Well, if they do an invasion angle, the biggest, craziest pop in story is gonna come from CM Punk returning and the Elite returning, and them clearing out the ring, and then having a stare down, and now it's AEW has to pull that shit together. It's basically what Devil got. Did we not do this? It's basically what we did last year when it was constantly. It was my faction, hot as heat. It was us against Takeover, and we were always at odds with each other. And then all of a sudden, the folks from Illinois, Chicago, and all of them, they came down invading, and we had to get our shit together to survive this war. It seems like it's the perfect, like it gets to the fans. It's my enemy of my enemy. Like it's literally that story again, but with bigger stars, much bigger stars. I think that we could be getting punked. I think we could be getting worked because they know we're nosy.
Absolutely. No, that is the difference between now and 25 years ago, is that you kind of took everything for what it was worth on the stage.
The goddamn internet and social media.
But you got to learn how to. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I think they may have figured out how, or at least if that's not what they're doing. If this is allegedly real, if this is, I don't believe it. I really don't, y'all. But if it is, then this shows a lot of y'all the art form of literally making it work because the fans are that fucking nosy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when MJF. I saw it when MJF did that in-ring promo a few months back. I thought it was a half shoot, which was good enough for me. The interview that CM Punk did after his match a week and a half ago or whatever, I believe that was a full shoot. If that's not a full shoot, then that's the greatest work in professional wrestling in the last 30 years.
Well, I mean, his infamous. Yeah, it was led to be known that it was scripted. So, it's arguably said it's one of the greatest pipe bombs, the greatest promos ever. One of them. One is up there. It's up there.
Right. Well, I mean, the Montreal Screwjob 25 years ago this year, greatest shoot of all time. And now here we are with interviews and stuff like that. And CM Punk's got me believing that he really is that mad at Colt Cabana because that's just the way I see it. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just seeing it how it is.
Punk has always been able to make everything that he says sound believable.
But then again, though, with the whole Colt Cabana thing, I gotta admit, Punk was silent. He was very quiet for a while. Colt Cabana had been throwing shots. Like, see, people wouldn't panic. The difference is between CM Punk and his rant and Colt Cabana and his being catty. And Colt Cabana been throwing shade, doing podcasts, talking shit about Punk for the longest. But ain't nobody paying attention to, like, they didn't give a fuck about Colt Cabana. But when CM Punk, who's been holding all that in, finally said something, because he been ignoring Colt Cabana. He was ignoring him, not saying that, act like he didn't exist. And he finally says something, and it all comes out.
Winner.
Because, what I'm just saying is that CM Punk is the bigger star. So people are going to judge him and really account for what he's saying. They're not going to go back and look at the podcast, all the shit where you continuously making fun of
Punk. Ain't nobody paying attention to Colt Cabana. I'm sorry, Colt Cabana. When you measure Colt Cabana to CM Punk, Colt Cabana, you need to go buy a ticket.
So therefore, what I'm saying is that it makes it look like CM Punk's the bully. Even though what he was saying, he's showing you, he's like, you can pull it up, look at receipts, look. And when I looked, I did some digging and looked at, the name and all the stuff that appeared in public. Well, it's public access. As far as if you want to look at the case, it was under Colt Cabana's mama's name, and it's like,
right.
Go ahead.
It's not. I mean, no lies are being told unless it is a work. But the thing about it is that you talked about CM Punk was quiet. Well, I got news for you. Winners are quiet. Okay, Lions do not concern themselves with the opinions of the sheep. They do not, and that's why you didn't hear about it. Now, why he decided to bring it up after winning the AEW title for a second time, then finding out he's injured after the match. Why?
Because no, whoever asked that question
pissed him off.
Yeah, because when you're hearing about something day in day out for fucking years, you just get sick of hearing about it. And then there comes a day, there comes the wrong innocent person who's going to say, "Hey man, what about this?" And they're going to catch a brick across the forehead.
Well, hold on. What is this? Is this Danny Brown? Which Danny Brown is this?
That's Danny Brown Jr. That's Danny Brown's son. This is Danny Brown Jr.
Hey, what up? What up? Oh man, DJ.
Wait a second, Danny. Wasn't he supposed to get an opportunity to like work a dark match or something like that at AEW, and he didn't get and he got.
Yes, he did. He was up. Yeah, he did. He showed out too. Yeah, he showed out.
I didn't know. I mean, I'm guessing. I don't know. I heard
and Danny's skills was way better than not just putting down the guy that wrestled Danny. I was okay, and I'm not being biased, but I looked at the style. You can pull it up. Danny Brown, go AEW, Elevation Dark, pull it up. YouTube. Matter of fact, we might pull it up now. Hell, shoot, we live, but I'm gonna get out of this because I've been holding this in for a minute. Danny shined. I was a little ticked off. Then again, I understand it's their company. Ain't no telling what direction they going in. And well, I ain't even seen the other guy, but I'm just saying, like, man, yeah. But I didn't know that was the Danny Brand. I thought it was because I don't recognize the profile picture. And I'm like, is that Danny?
Let me tell you something about Danny Jr. I've seen him wrestle many times. Fantastic. Why they didn't give him a second opportunity, I don't know. Then again, Danny is still young enough; he could probably have that eventually.
I think it's mic skills. Danny's his that's not his strong suit. Is mic skills. That's why I gotta keep it 100. I think I've seen Danny starting using the mic more, but they hadn't in the past. They hadn't been a strong suit. But I remember Mo talking about, that's what they were going to work more on with him. And because Danny's a full, like, just a master, in my opinion, master in the ring. But you do have to have the extra edge. You do need to be able to talk on your own or have something deep with your character. Once he finds himself or somebody puts something in place, sky's the limit for Danny.
I think that, honestly, Danny, if you're worried about his mic skills, I think that the only thing that he would need to worry maybe is a little bit of speech therapy. And that's it. Because we do sound like a bunch of Southern, like his dad did it. He had kind of that Southern soul. Danny's got that Southern soul. That's hard to market nowadays with this crowd. This crowd is a very nerdy, video game playing type crowd. And Danny Jr. has got that soulful, that's right, baby, type of thing. And I just don't know if you can market that.
I'm gonna say this. Okay, I'm gonna add to something. I like where you going with that, Hank. I'm gonna say this. This was an idea that when I was trying to get Danny to be on, do a show with NOCW, but he was like booked up like a mall. He was like super booked up. But I wanted to get with him and talk with him about working with it because he can actually work it to his advantage. Yeah, you got that Southern twang. Look at the Briscoes. They make it work to their advantage. But Danny's got to come with a new attitude and use it. Hell, if he's stutter, if he's something, work it. Kick your ass, and like he can do it. Like it's gonna be a flip for everybody, but he got to put some attitude and put some stank on it, and make. I'm trying not to curse. Make these people understand. Hey, I'm about business. I'm whooping ass, and it's don't take this ass whooping personally. Harlem Nights.
I will say this. They always talk about like WWE and stuff like that. I just don't know if they know how to market Danny in AEW. Like I said, Danny's not nerdy. He's gonna
have to be an ass kicker. Like he's gonna have to be an ass kicker, dog. I'm telling you, Danny has let me tell you something. Now, he might not like me saying this, but I'm gonna say it. Danny, don't play.
No.
Piss him off. Fuck with him. Watch what happens. And now I'm not gonna talk about something that happened behind the scenes, but play with him. try to Danny would. Well, I'm gonna talk about something that happened around. And Danny, I know you. Bear with me. I can talk about this. Once upon a time, some shit went down. I'm straight. I'm good. Danny like, no. What's going on, Tishawn? You good? And I'm like, no. My people, we got this. Danny was standing his ground, ready to take it, and handle his business. He didn't have to do that for me. Yeah, I knew you gonna laugh. I know you laughing, but I'm just saying, Danny was right there telling, let's get it. Who wanted with Tishawn? Let's get it. And I was like, no, Danny. And I was like, Danny, Adonis, it's cool, man. I got this. My people, we right here. That we good, man. And I heard what somebody else tried to try Danny. It didn't go right, but it was that anger that came out. Danny got on that dude ass so goddamn quick. When Danny gets gutter, it's a wrap.
Right, but
the way he talks, his body, like his everything, his emotion,
right.
Dude, he has something there.
But see,
I'm just saying.
But the situation has to be there for him to do that, because I agree with you. If he did something like that in AEW, bro, they could market Danny. I'm telling you, but they could market Danny because of it. The situation has to be there for him. I don't know if he has to like self-induce like hypertension before his match, his promo before he does something like that, but Danny could do it. Yes, like I said, I think the Southern thing is like, because you don't see too many of these Southern wrestlers coming up there anymore. I mean, most of these guys are from like, New York and Pennsylvania and all this stuff at AEW, and it is just, I'm just afraid that may be his Achilles heel, unless like some form of like, online speech therapy or something like that. Because like I said, Danny was trained by a great wrestler. And Danny can wrestle as good as anybody else. I've seen him do moves that Daniel Bryan does. And I'm going to tell you, man, like he can. And he's got the durability, the speed, the conditioning, the facial expressions.
He's one of those ones that should be gone. I should be continuously seeing Danny on my television.
I'm waiting on that day. And if I had the connections, I would, if I knew somebody in that locker room, I would suggest it again. And how Danny got in there in the first place, I don't know how he did it. How did he get the connection to get in there in the first place? Maybe that'll pop up again,
Or talk about this. We talk about people with promos. Scott Steiner. In the story, Scott Steiner, he turned it into his advantage. He wasn't the best at cutting promos, but that dude, I don't know, in the land where just reinventing yourself wasn't a thing, turned himself into something completely different. And he was now Scott's smart, but at the same time, he pushed more character out of himself, more tougher, more grittier. It
Right.
was the Big Papa Pump character was something else. 200 pieces of the genetic freak and puppet. It was like, what is he talking about? But he was on it, especially the infamous mathematics. Remember that? Man, memorable. The infamous mathematics. 200. He was like 2/3
a 33rd and a third chance of winning.
Yes.
Man, I really, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, like there's just some guys that have it. Like, I don't know how Powerhouse Hobbs has a job, because I think he's a good wrestler, but I don't know what to make of his character. Like, what is he?
They're growing. It's kind of like what we're saying with Danny, but they're growing into it. He's showing more his cerebral, sadistic side first, because I've heard him do interviews, and the dude he's a smooth talker. So they're working with that first. And get to the comments. I'm begging. Jeff Jarrett was the worst on the mic.
Yeah, he was up there. He just had Jeff Jarrett was terrible on the mic. He just had catchphrases and stuff like that.
Double day, double E, double I.
Yeah.
Piss me off.
The top selling T-shirt for like 3 weeks running, Slap Nuts. I mean,
choke on that slap. No,
they just said Johnny Dawson versus Danny Brown. Oh my gosh! Whoa! Oh shit!
yeah, no.
Oh,
it's one of them things, and and there's no reason why. Like obviously, that's the thing about it. What I'm saying, and I'm on team Danny Brown Jr. for this is because I think if he's anything like his dad, he's a student of the game. I think that he will improve. Like how old is Danny now, man? He's still.
I want to see Dustin versus Danny Brown. I'm sorry. Why did they have to even mention that? Now, Danny, don't call him Unc no more. No, forget him. It's time. Bring the heat to him. Like Danny versus Johnny Brown. Oh man. This is, dude. They better make that happen. They better make that happen.
See, Danny's 31. He's still young. He can make it. He's still young. He can make it. I mean, look how many guys are in the main event that are in their 40s for crying out loud. Look
over the 40s. You being generous. They've been over the 40s, man.
Well, look at that Damian Priest guy, man. He's 39 years old and he's having the career of his life right now in the WWE. I never heard of this cat until 3 years ago. It's just, I mean, I don't watch NXT like that. NXT's garbage to me.
Well, the times are definitely different. There are supplements, different things you can take that are not as harmful as the things back then in the days. That's why a lot of guys like MVP are still in the ring. There's more things to keep you more healthier in nowadays than it was in the past. So people don't understand it. Back then, steroids and some more harsh drugs were all you really had. But now,
cocaine, hell of a drug.
Yeah, cocaine. That was too.
Hell of a drug.
I mean, Johnny just commented AJ Styles is 44 years old and AJ Styles is still damn good. Age is only a number in this game nowadays, especially. I mean, they're not packing on
three DDP. Literally changed the lives of a lot of different people. With showing the right ways to do your body and treat your body. I
know I have the DDP workout at home. I just have never done it.
I'm sorry to push that, but also, formerly known as Gold Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah, he's 52 years old.
This man, now one of my, and it's kind of unusual, but hey, he's one of my favorite wrestlers as far as in ring. If I could wrestle like anybody, it would be him. That man.
He's good.
Motherfucker was north of 40 before he started busting out a Canadian destroyer.
Yeah, Johnny just commented he'll be 45 years old this year, so it's in less than a month. So, and Johnny's Johnny's not completely out of shape, not from what I saw the last time. I mean,
and his in ring ability is like, I don't know how much it takes out of Johnny. I'm about to ask him, but the matches that I've seen him put on,
I've known Johnny for 20 years. The one thing that makes his matches better nowadays is that everything he does makes sense. That's why.
Well, I also think it's the weight that he picked up. He when he hits you, it's a hit. he don't have to fly off the ropes in order to look like he hurt you.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, that's the one thing. If you get smarter with wrestling, you do things. Everything you do does make sense. If you're smart enough, if you're still like a lucha libre wrestler where you're not really telling a story inside the ring, then you're probably not going to get very far in your 40s.
Well, I hate to cut you off there. Just because you might not be too, immersed in the lucha libre, they tell stories too. Just might not be in the way that we're used to.
Even Conan.
You see, because I've heard it for years and years. Oh, you can't tell a story with hardcore deathmatch. Bullshit.
Yeah, we proved it.
Yeah, well, even Conan will admit that lucha libres down in Mexico don't tell stories very well. That's like the Hulk Hogan of lucha libre.
Not to American standards. No, not to American standards.
Well, like I say,
tell what story.
You can't look at things outside the country to our standards because it's not being aimed at our culture. It's
not.
A little bit of a,
No, but when you got 25% of the roster on AEW is lucha libre, then I have to say something.
Well, see, they're trying to expand American eyes to a product outside of the little narrow view.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm sorry. This. Yeah, I was mentioning it earlier, but this Kevin Owens shit. WWE, give it up. I mean, I don't know. I'm just maybe it's just me, y'all. This is me.
Stone Cold Steve Austin was your peak, brother. I mean, he's a good wrestler, but like, what else can they do with him?
I don't know.
They had that window, and now it's closing. Unless they can figure something out, like they've tried to reinvent him. They just can't.
They did it I think 3 different times. They've had
stop reinventing them. Kevin Steen was a talented motherfucker in the first place before they started watering his ass down.
And then they tried to make him more rememberable with giving them the stunner and all. And I'm like, dude, stop it, because stop it. But
Kevin will always have a place to work, though. That's not going to be the issue. It's just what his role will be in the WWE at this point in his career. He'd be better off making a complete transformation. He would.
You know something that I want to do in this break, this NLCW break. I want to book some matches. I want to just sit back and book some matches for a while for different promotions. Because the one thing that me, Raj, and all of us was talking about, man, we booked some great matches and some great angles and stories. One thing that we did great. I would say last season and last year's season, what we kept doing good was telling stories. Like, they were awesome. The build and the specials we did were awesome. But I want to see, like, I want to put it to Dawson. I want to put it to TV. Come on, Dawson. Let's put some of this shit on TV.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know if Johnny's going to let you have that kind of control, but
hey, Dawson got some of that fire. That promoter life, boy, man.
Hence the reason why he'll stick to the promoting.
No. It was hectic. I mean, far as I saw the look on the set, we talking about yesterday. The look on his face, man.
You can see the gray hairs forming.
Man, hey, what?
Johnny's a pastor. If you could get people to come inside and listen to the same Bible we've been listening to for the past 2,000 years, you can do anything.
Man,
I'm not getting on that subject.
I saw that. I saw that look. I saw that look in Johnny's face, man. I said, yeah. I said, yeah,
yeah. Okay, I'm a man of God, so I need to quit mocking the Bible. But it's just
okay.
I'm just making a point. Johnny is not a stranger to. He's not a stranger to like promoting and booking. I mean, for crying out loud, I went to that first show and it was fantastic. I had a great time. I mean, I'm just sitting there chilling, eating hot dogs. I bought a kid a hot dog. I had fun. And so, and the crowd was.
Did you say you bought a can of hot dogs?
A kid. I bought a kid.
Oh, okay.
If the next thing out of your mouth is that you drive a white Ford panel van, we're going to have to talk.
I just got that.
I think he had that waiting in the chamber. He had that waiting.
I swear. I just got that. That's funny. No,
oh man.
Oh no, man. I'm gonna tell you. I mean, it's the business is still good in Memphis, and I need to be a part of it more often, but
okay. Segue.
Stay away from Roach Motels.
Okay. Segue. Let's get into it then, Hank.
Okay.
Your history with pro wrestling, because I know you did a little announcing and so forth, and right. Maybe commentary. Let's hear some, like where
he was the man.
Where does it begin then? Where does it begin and where is it going now?
Well, I mean, I started 21 years ago. I started in January of 2001. Okay, my dream since I was 14 years old was to be on the radio, to be in broadcasting. I actually went to school for it. Chris Lex will testify to that because he was He's listened. When I was going to school, Chris was with me a couple times while I would do my schooling, and then the teacher would send a tape to me saying what I needed to work on and stuff like that. And Chris had listened to him. So I always had a love for the wrestling business, and I got into it. Adam Dunn, Adam Dunn had a TV show at the time. You've probably heard us talk about the old days of TAJJ, and
the transmission shop.
Yeah, Dunn's Transmission, over at Dunn's Transmission. Old 25 summer. That was 20 years ago. I was a teenager. I was just a kid, but I wanted to be in radio broadcasting. So, I had people in high school tell me you need to develop your chops when it comes to like thinking fast on your feet, so to speak, all that good jazz. And I was not terrible at it when I first started, but I could tell I needed improvement, and that school helped me. And I got out of it around 2006 consistently. I was doing it 2-3 days a week back in up until 2006. Wow. Yeah, well, we would do 2 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday, sometimes on a Friday night. So really it was 4 nights sometimes. And, so you're talking, I did that for 5 years. And then I remember 2006, I was working at the radio stations and stuff like that. And I had to get a job, so I wasn't around it as much. So I was doing that. And then the past 10 years or so, I have worked for maybe a handful of wrestlers. I've worked for Tattoo is a friend of mine. He was the last one I worked for. I worked with him for about 6 weeks, but then I had to, what was that? Why did I get out? It was nothing. It was not for bad reasons. It was because I was busy with something, but I know what it was. I was starting at the radio station. That's what it was. I was starting at the radio station at AM 730, which is where Bob and Josh are, who do Johnny's commentary now. And that was 2006, but I haven't been around it much in the past 10, 12 years. And people ask me why I don't get back into it. I just, I got a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth about the style, the way things were going. Like, I didn't feel like a wrestling show was too long for me. I didn't feel like doing a show for 3 hours. You can't do that nowadays, man. You can only gain people's attention for so long, including mine. I can't call a wrestling match for 3 hours. Number one. Number two, I don't know. Like, okay, I would get there an hour before because that was who I am. And I don't like waiting an hour and then the show starts 30 minutes late and then the show goes on 3 hours. And then I got to wait another hour to either get paid or be dismissed. And so you're talking about sucking out about 5 or 6 hours out of my day. And I got tired of it. There was a lot of promoters doing that. When Johnny ran that show about a month or two ago, his first show at what's his new organization called? Bluff City Championship?
No, Bluff City Wrestling.
Bluff City Wrestling. Johnny had an hour and a half, 2 hour show. That's how they need to be run. You cannot keep people's attention that long anymore like you used to. You can't do it. If you're doing a 3 hour show, what are we all doing right now? We're looking down at our phones. If I see any local promoter promote an Iron Man match, while I'm on the card, I will walk out.
Wow. Has that even... I don't even know, man. I haven't even heard that. And my few years of doing these shows and been around, I haven't heard nobody do an Iron Man match.
We had them back in the day.
That's back in the day. I'm talking about like
I can't remember. I think yeah. I'm just saying that you can't do an Iron Man match nowadays. You can't keep people's attention. Things need to be quick nowadays. If a match lasts on a local level longer than 15 minutes, you're crazy. You're crazy. Because you're not going to keep this generation's attention long, including me.
Really?
I'm adding to
Hank. I'm a little shocked and appalled at that. If somebody knows what they're doing, if the people in the ring know what they're doing, they can.
Not if you're not a big name.
Okay,
if the Rock and Kurt Angle had a match against each other, they could do it because they're two huge names who can actually wrestle. Rock can't wrestle as well as as Kurt Angle, but he's the biggest name in wrestling. Okay, even if he's not in wrestling anymore. You get the point, though. So you can't do that on a local level. You got two guys that probably have never been heard of to the outside.
Okay, hold on. Locally, usually the Iron match is like 30 minutes, right? That's
hour.
Yeah, but even 30 minutes.
No.
That's
Yeah.
too long. You can't.
Okay, I'm gonna credit Devil Guy with that one because me and CeeLo, two unlikely pairs, did a match and it went over like 30 something minutes and had everybody eating out the palm of our hands. That's CeeLo, the referee. Did everybody know? Oh, that's the referee. Now I give it. We worked the angle up. No, it was that the angle was built up over a couple of months, but still, I to credit what Damien saying, aka Mr. Devil Guy, is that it depends on the people. You know, you can keep people's attention because CeeLo worked the hell out of the crowd. And
as long as you know how to work the crowd, and there's a compelling story, just like Lord of the Rings. There's a long ass movie, but it's a compelling story.
How many wrestling fans do you know that are going to show up on a local level to the same show 5-6 weeks in a row to develop that story? I'll wait.
I'll say that again.
How many wrestling fans do you know on a local level that are going to show up to the same show 6 weeks in a row, which is about how long it takes to develop a good story for an Iron Man match? Maybe a month at least.
Well, the problem was we didn't build it as an Iron Man match. It was a few. No, we didn't have a time limit for it. It's how long it took because part of it we went upstairs. We worked. I think I went and got him out of the top because we had like a separate offices. His office was on one side of the building, miles on, but both our offices upstairs. So I went to whooping his ass up to his office. His goons came out. We got into it. So there's a fight upstairs. Then I tossed him down the stairs, and we was in the crowd, in the ring. Crowd ring. He tried to run outside. All it was going on. It was a lot going on, but they were on the fans were on his ass. Like they was booing the hell out of him.
Yeah.
And it was for those that saw the video, you saw the video. You know, it was just that. So my thing is, go ahead, Hank.
Johnny just made a good point too. You have to know how to manage your time as well. And I'm sorry, but once testosterone and ego start flying in the ring, half these wrestlers do not give a crap about the time limit. And then
I hate that.
then I'm just sitting there yawning.
That's when the referee's got to do their job.
No, but some of them they still won't listen. They won't.
How many egos have we dealt with in the wrestling business over the years? I mean, I know I'm just an announcer and I've helped run shows before, but I haven't done that in a long time. And I can't tell you how many egos, and quite frankly, some of them are too dumb to be able to actually manage their own emotions and being able to say, okay, when do we need to take this home? We've been doing this for a minute. Ref, how long have we been in the ring? You know, whisper to the ref.
Wait, I got to get my shit in.
Yeah, exactly. No, Johnny just made another good point, and I'm going to bust him out. I remember there was this like 15-minute, Johnny just made a good point about 15-minute promos. I remember I was doing a tattoo show, and Derek King and Alan Steele were doing like a 15-minute promo in the ring. I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. You think you're bigger than you are, that somebody's going to listen to you for 15 minutes?
Sometimes people, they do that. Now, it's per promoter asking, yo, we stall some time, do something, stall some. The stall your time promos kill me. Like, dude, stop it.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't listen to The Rock for 15 minutes. And he's the best promo man of all time.
Well, we have. Unfortunately, we have. Hell, we because The Rock stood in the ring for he'll stand in the ring for about a good 7 minutes, walk around.
Maybe I used a bad example, but you get my point. I mean, it's not necessary nowadays. I mean, and
okay, Hank, there's a lot of things that's not necessary. Okay,
Derek,
back.
Oh, and let me get on Johnny. Johnny's right. Derek's 15 minutes entrance with the simply the best.
2 minutes to come to the ring. I'm gonna say this, and going back to the promoters. The one thing that I've experienced, with promoters and most of the promotions and the guys, everybody knows it all. Not very many surround themselves with great minds. The one thing that I had to do was get out of my own shell. I had to stop being. This is something that I had to work on. I had to stop being closed-minded and paranoid at everybody. And I didn't go into everything with an ego like, oh, we're the best promotion. Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna take over? We're gonna take another? No, because I understand where we are. You know what I'm saying? But I see a lot of ego in a lot of different promoters. Yes. Look at Dotson got a hell of an ego, but that was even before he's promoting. The dude is a cocky. He's cocky as hell.
I think Johnny's is more just confidence beyond confident is what I'll go with, because he's a pastor. He's a pastor, man. He's got to, you got to have that kind of confidence to be a pastor.
Before he was a pastor. Before that.
I'm just saying that because that's just ingrained in him. I mean,
Johnny has to. He has to be larger than life. That's his ego, and they used to hear that they talking about being short. So and most guys that are shorter, they always have a larger than life persona. Kevin Hart, they always have a loud persona and so forth. Especially those that feel like they got something to say. Johnny's always had something to say, but.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's, I mean, I think one of the things that you have to do is believe in yourself too. And I think that's something that Johnny is good at least from all the years that I've known Johnny. And I think that he believes in himself. I mean, the guy probably he was talking about retiring a year or two ago, and here he is promoting a wrestling organization again,
Johnny retired about a good 3, 4, 5 times. He probably gonna keep retiring, Terry Funk. But he ain't gonna be the only one. I've heard this promoter said they were done with the business and never coming back, and I'm like, okay, once again, here we go again, marking out. I had a deep discussion with Art Roger about this people talking about the retiring and shit. Always they retire and this. What are you retiring from exactly? Are you stopping, you're quitting doing something, or you're retiring? Are you getting a 401k plan there, boss? Like, my thing is, we mark out it. I see that a lot of that we always mark out as shit to where we're saying we're fired. Well, I got fired from this. No, you didn't. Take your WWE ass out home somewhere with that. Reality, you didn't get fired. Reality, you're not retiring. You're just stopping from doing something.
See, and Johnny just said I had something to prove to people. Johnny has nothing to prove to anybody. He's Ric Flair. He has no reason to prove anything to anybody. If he wants to prove it to himself, then that's the drive that you need to prove to yourself. But Johnny does not need to prove nothing to nobody else. Johnny has done it.
And let me explain the difference between her.
Great. I think Johnny's one of my. Out of the 20 years, he's my top 5 favorite that I ever called a match on.
And let me explain something to those that question the retirement remarks. Let's say Ric Flair.
You ain't making a living from it. You ain't retiring from it.
Ric Flair is a brand, a name, a company, a whole entity with him. So when he retires, there are companies that will literally stop and cut off connections with him as far as doing business because they know that, okay, he's not doing it. Jewelry stores will stop. He has several different lines. He has food lines. That's retirement. And then now things boost up. They might even boost up different products to sell because therefore this is he's retiring. He's done. He might take on another Mr. Figure 4, Mr. This. There's a lot of different things that come from retirement, and there's a lot of other things that it does cancel. So if you retire and it's not affecting anything, any other body's company, you ain't retiring, dog. So. We say that because that's a part of we see the big leagues do it on TV. So we want to say we want to do it. So when people hold a lot of the independent talent down and like, oh, he said he retired. And they I've heard people go off at a couple of wrestlers because Dotson and them ain't the only ones. It's been plenty of other guys. They said they'd retire, and I've seen that happen. But I hear fans, they be mad. They be right there in the audience. He said he retired. Look at him now. He look at this guy. He just stepped away. Stepping away is what I call it. Just step away. You stepped away from the business. That's what you did. You didn't retire because what did you have on the line? What business deals did you stopped because of that? Legit business deals. What big organizations were you working with? Are you a legit brand? There's a lot of things that come along with it that it stops. But there are people that I see guys that haven't even wrestled legitimately for an amount of years, not even long enough. Never been consecutive within the ring, but yet they say they retire. Now that is something weird. But I think that it's more of a just wanting to feel like you're one of your stars, your idols. You're idolizing somebody, so you're gonna say you retired. It sounds cool.
Yeah, Go ahead, Jason.
Go ahead. Don't you say I'm in your top 5 people was pissed when I said I believed I was in the top 5 as being the best in Memphis, but how many have done what I've done here in Memphis?
Not too many. Not too many. I mean, not off the top of my head.
What you mean? There's more than 5 people that have done more than you've done, Johnny. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but in the last 20 years, when we're, think about, I see what he's saying. Or, well, maybe I don't see what he's saying.
I'm about to say there's some big names that came out of Memphis and still doing pretty good. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Like, now, if you're talking about if you're only being consecutive local and like, where we going here? I mean,
but we got to be fair though. We have to be fair about that. How many guys have come out of Memphis in the last 20 years? How many guys have come out of the last 20 years and you know them on a mainstream level? I can think of maybe 7, and none of us were really that good of friends with the guy. So
guys
in the city of Memphis, which matters just as much, if not more, because of the fact that the city was a capital wrestling town. I got to give credit where it's credit is due. I mean,
Johnny said in the city, and I'm gonna say this. It depends on who's telling the story, because there's a lot of young cats that came out of Memphis. But if you ask somebody else, they'll be like, "Oh no, what that guy do?" You're gonna hear those things.
That's because Johnny's been around for a long time, man. I remember what Johnny did here in the past. I mean, gosh, even like 15 years ago, the guy was making dents around here and stuff like that. And and he got on with Lawler's organization back when the small man was not supposed to be on this organization. He's wrestled at the Coliseum, and I was there when he wrestled at the Coliseum. Lawler gave him a pile driver. I saw that one in a cage match battle royal, but
But now we're doing a measuring stick. Who's had the biggest impact within the industry? That's debatable. That's very. It's a who's who.
And it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but the reason why I'm giving Johnny the credit that he deserves is because Johnny didn't have like deep connections, even though he was trained by Dundee. It's not like he had like real extreme deep connections to get places. How many guys do we know? Like Charlie Parks' the guys that were trained by Charlie Parks. Not hardly any of them had a consistent gig on the Memphis wrestling scene under Lawler's tutelage. But
okay, Johnny, are we only basing it back then, or are we saying like recent? Because we're talking because all I'm asking is what's the criteria here? Because it seems like the goalposts keep getting moved.
Right.
So
see, John, that's another thing. Johnny just said it. His dad was in the wrestling business. Back in the day, it was hard to get trained. When Johnny started, it was hard to get trained. Okay. And I got news for you. They looked at you based upon your appearance alone and wouldn't even train you. But for some reason, they trained Johnny. So I got to give him an accomplishment there. That's it. Johnny wants you to bring him in.
Did you say you weren't talking no more? See, He retired from having a discussion on here about anything addressing anybody because these conversations we got they go everywhere. They go everywhere.
Well, yeah, Johnny's right. You had to be changed. You had to be trained by a name. Like, you didn't get trained by some guy that was probably good on a local level, but nobody knew who he was. You had to be trained by like Don Bass or Jerry Lawler or Dundee or Brickhouse Brown, those guys. I don't know if Brickhouse Brown trained anybody because I didn't know any of his students, but I mean, I remember. So yeah, bring Johnny in, man.
But you remember
Johnny.
what?
But I was just saying that I remember that was the way it was. Yeah, you had to be trained by. Yeah, exactly. Johnny just said to get on TV, you had to be trained by a name to be validated. See, exactly. And the fact that he was able to do it. Brody Hawk was trained by Brick. I did not know that. I didn't know that. I mean, I like Brody Hawk.
But now, for where we see the business going, especially Memphis now, and pro wrestling within Memphis.
Right.
We see the promotions. We see 901 wrestling. We see VCA wrestling.
Right.
We see Chet wrestling. Memphis
George
wrestling.
Motel.
Yeah, we see Memphis wrestling. Oh, okay. We naming those who. Okay. Well, okay. Let's. You got. You said. I guess. Devil Guy's talking about. TWX.
I never named no names.
You got on again off again.
Speculation.
I guess I can say you gonna hear me. Okay. You got on again off again. MEW. Because I think he ran recently, right? He was in MEW recently. You got Memphis Lucha Libre Wrestling, MLLW. Of course, NOCW. I think I'm forgetting the promotion. I know I am. I said Bluff City. Now, in Brotherhood Championship, you got quite a few that I believe are still running. So with all of these names, and if I did not name your promotion, somebody is another promotion out there that I did not name. Please, speak up.
Raja said to hell.
But I'm looking at like where do we see it going now? Because this is the thing. Most of these promotions and promotion runners, a lot of guys don't listen. They don't listen at all. And when it comes to running a promotion and doing things, I haven't really like far as excitement. I haven't seen nobody do something really exciting. Like the shows like Edgy, Getting There. That's something that I like to see. It's like nobody's trying to push the envelope at all. I mean, I guess we got to go back to NLCW. We did things that we did death matches, did this, did that. We pushed the envelope every time, but it's like everybody plays that safe role. And now I understand some people's shows are not going to go there because they have certain allegiances and they have certain sponsors or people watching them. So I get that. But my thing is, to me, it's go hard to go home. You got to give the fans something exciting. And that's something that I don't see a lot. It's to me a lot of stuff that I be seeing when a lot of promotions, it gets boring. It's the everybody talks hell about the other promoter or the other brand or what like that, but it's the same thing. Like most of the entertainment is still relatively. It can be good, but it's still the same. Nobody's really doing anything that's just. What's up, Johnny? Nobody's really doing anything that's just. Like, oh my gosh, that just happened.
Everybody wants to see what's on Monday or Wednesday night and then do it on a Saturday night.
Exactly. I mean, okay, prime example. Pro Wrestling Mid-South was here. That man promised that he was finna do some blah, 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 blah. That shit, come on, man. I went there, sat front row. It was not. I mean, now, I don't know. There might be some of y'all. Greg Anthony might be one of y'all friends, but I'm gonna keep it 100.
He's my friend.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
he's an old friend of mine as well.
I watched the show.
He don't like me.
I watched the show. Bought a ticket and everything. Sat down and watched it, and I was looking just as puzzled as some of the few fans that was there.
All right.
It was like all of that talk. The
Well,
hype did not live up to it.
I've been talking a lot. Let me go ahead and say it now. I've been talking a lot about Bluff City Wrestling. And yes, I use a lot of the guys that been seen around the area that everybody else used. But my thing is, if you package them different and you get them to believe in the vision you have for them, I said this, Big Charles Ray has been known being with Pure Power, right? You feel what I'm saying? He's been known for pure power. But now that I'm packaging him as a singles wrestler, you see what I'm saying? He can be looked at a little different. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does to me.
Look how I'm packaging Big Charles now. His demeanor, his everything that we're trying to make him become. Because whether you want to believe it or not, Big Charles got star power on him.
He been had star power.
But you got to know how to. But you got to know how to market.
But Big Charles, this is a conversation me and him been had last year when he was going to go solo. But he wanted to finish out his run and do Pure Power. That was Charles and V-Man's decision.
Okay, but here's the thing: you still have to make it make sense, and that's what people fail to realize about the wrestling business. It still has to make sense. You can look at the Road Warriors. The Road Warriors was monsters, right? But they still lost to the Rock and Roll Express. They still lost to the Fabs. But the storyline had to make sense.
What's not making sense? What are we doing?
Thank you.
Where do we go with this? How do we get to?
Because what I'm saying is the packaging. You have to be able to package a person a certain way. If anybody know about The Rock had 3 different packages on WWE.
What were you comparing it to? Okay, we just bust out, make it make sense. What are we comparing it to? Who?
With Charles Ray. The Charles Ray that you seen at the RSWF is totally a different Charles Ray that you see at Bluff City.
Mm-hmm.
He's the same guy.
Charles. Okay, let me say this. There was 2 different versions of Charles Ray in RSWF. Because let me put some respect there. 2 different versions. That was the version that was just he was just a quiet monster. Then he was pushed solo because people forget that Charles Ray was pushed solo in RSWF. Y'all wasn't watching, and he was the mean lead, but he still had Pure Power backing him. So that still was there. So let me some of us that we wasn't paying attention, we just wasn't paying attention. But
at Bluff City, there is no Pure Power.
That's supremacy.
But you see
I get where he's going, Hank. But what I'm saying is that there's still supremacy. It's still when
you talking about the faction.
The faction it's still the same 3. It's still the same 3. This is not now. Eventually, maybe it'll get to you'll see him just bloom out on his own. But he's still with the same faction.
But everybody plays different roles. How many matches have you seen Ace wrestle? None.
I don't know.
Ace hasn't wrestled 1 match at Bluff City.
I didn't know.
Ace is the cornerstone of the company because Ace now is put in a role to where he's in a leadership position.
Yeah, supremacy. He started the supremacy thing, and then
they call it the torture chamber.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying too.
Hold on. You know that they say supremacy on the show, right?
No, they said torture chamber. They the torture chamber.
They might have said. They might have. I don't know.
Okay. Well, yeah, it was torture chamber. About that. Well, all right.
But that just
torture chamber, house of torture. You know,
that just goes to my point I made earlier. You can have the best working skills, but if you can't draw people in, then there's no point. Package them. You got. I mean, I can't stress this enough. I mean. That's just like, what's that guy's name from FTR, right? He's like probably the best wrestler on the roster. The bald head and the shaved mustache.
Yeah, Dax Harwood.
Yeah, thank you, Dax Harwood.
AEW.
That guy is probably the best wrestler they have on the roster, hands down. I mean, Daniel Bryant. Maybe
you realize that roster includes Bryan Danielson, right?
Right. But here's the thing. I'm talking. Okay, let me rephrase that. New up and comer. But if he had this luring microphone skill, he'd be the most famous wrestler in the business because of his skill and if he had the great mic presence. But he doesn't.
But then it still falls on the office. And that's what I told everybody. Stone Cold Steve Austin has been around for 1,000 years before he was Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's just to have the right people to market him and package him in a way that he could get over.
Exactly.
Let's try. I saw Austin at a USWA show in Oklahoma in his rookie fucking year.
Mm-hmm.
That was light years away from Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Or Stunning Steve Austin.
No, that was before Stunning Steve. Before
that's why
Steve.
That's why I say way before Stunning.
But then I'm gonna tell you what people fail to realize: the person who made Stone Cold Steve Austin, the person who polished Stone Cold Steve Austin, is the very person who taught me everything I know. See, if anybody listens to Stone Cold podcast, he gives Bill Superstar Dundee all the credit in the world for what he got.
As well he should. You know, Dundee doesn't get a lot of credit on the mainstream level.
No.
But the other wrestlers behind the scenes know it. They already know it.
Those heydays in the 80s when NWA was hot, who you think was doing the writing? Bill Dundee.
Yeah. I mean, he did a lot of the writing. He did a lot of the the psychology work. I remember somebody mentioned it. It was somebody else, not Stone Cold, but somebody else mentioned that he worked like the same way Pat Patterson did in WWE. Dundee would work on the psychology work with the wrestlers.
Yep.
Okay.
He sure did.
I got sent the question: what does it take to run and bring out the best in your promotion in the city? I'm gonna take a swing at it first since it was sent to me. I'm gonna say paying attention to your surroundings. I think I was alluding to it earlier. Thanks for the question too. Pay attention to your surroundings. Watching other promotions, studying and learning from other promotions. Because when you think that you know it all, or that you think that you are the end all say all, and that you're gonna be the number one numero to everybody, then you can be sadly mistaken. The one thing that I did, I watched everybody. I learned from everybody. No matter if I felt like they were lackluster in talent or the direction, they were poop putt, shitty, or they were just all radical. I watched them. I attended everybody's show. I didn't get booked. I wasn't booked as no damn wrestler. I walked in there and looked at everybody's product. I've been to VCA, 901, UCPWS, whatever you want to call them at any given day. Brotherhood, Bluff City, RSWF, MEW, everybody. Yeah. I went to everybody's show, watched everything that they had going on, looked at the direction. I didn't heard the hoorah to the hoopla, all of that.
Yeah.
And that's why when I stepped into the ring to do my thing, I knew, okay, I'm not going to do that. I am going to do that. Not going to do this, not going to do that. That's why it wasn't really just about building people, because this ain't, if you look at it, Memphis just wants to be entertained. They don't care about a lot of the stuff that as a promoter and as a booker that you care about. Believe it or not, they don't give a damn about all that shit. They don't give a damn about your politics and who you really like. And they want to see, let's go wrestling. You trying to get this dude to do a promo. Let's go wrestling. They going to sit there and look at and watch your ass. The shit that a lot of us care about and watch and just sit there and be dwelling on, they don't care about that.
That's why I'm so glad I've been doing this for so long, to where I can make this thing sound simple so everybody can understand. There is levels to this thing called wrestling. There is level. What I mean by that is it depends on what kind of show that you're running. Number one, if you just running a wrestling show while you setting up a ring periodically and you bringing some guys out to do a show and you only wrestle every 4 or 5, 6 months, it's impossible to have a storyline because ain't nobody gonna remember what happened from one show to the next. But when you have a television show and you're trying to do it from that aspect, your television show is only a commercial for your company. So you build your angles so people can get invested. That's why you do the promos, because guess what there has to be? There has to be an introductory period so people can understand who this person is, what this person is about. You see what I'm saying? So that's why people have to understand the persona. The reason why Ric Flair is so great is because they build him as the nature boy. They made sure he came out with the custom suits. They made sure he came out with the game. They made him live his gimmick. In order for you to get over in this city, in the wrestling business, you have to live the gimmick. You have to be believable. Anybody that's on this podcast looking at me right now, whenever you see Jerry the King Lawler, whether it's at a gas station or at a restaurant, he's Jerry the King Lawler. No matter when you see Bill Dundee at a gas station or a restaurant, he's superstar. There's only one time that I seen Jerry Lawler not as the king, and I seen him as something different, and that was at Brian Christopher funeral. I did not see Jerry Lawler as Jerry the King Lawler. I seen Jerry Lawler as Jerry Lawler the father.
I saw Jerry Lawler watching a football game at this restaurant, pulling for his Cleveland Browns, and he was chilling, and he was still being Jerry Lawler.
Leave it be as it may. I'll say this: love it, live it, and leave it. Brother Johnny said that don't want nobody to remember. You know, if you're not, this is not a TV show, not a television. Well, if ain't nobody watching that station, they ain't gonna remember it. But I tell you this here: if you leave an imprint on a fan's mind, if you do something memorable, this guy right here, Devil Guy, aka Damian Todd, put in the work in death matches. People, now I will credit him. He talked about that. Didn't nobody hardcore death matches? They say, oh, you can't tell no story in it. Him, and my good friend Carnival Creed carried a storyline all the way into October, and the fans remembered it and believed it. We did this time and time again where angles were continued to be done. Even when I started running back-to-back weeks, I saw RSWF, they did a back-to-back weeks. Fans remember. So it depends on the impression that you leave on your fans. They will remember what's going on, especially the regulars. The regulars to the added on, to the people that's added on. You know, well, see, I think Hank was like the only person I think that didn't return after Summer Bash, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you came back to any other shows after that. I couldn't remember.
Well, I mean, to kind of complete my story, the same reason why when Johnny asked me if I wanted to be a part of the organization that he was starting, I just don't have time right now. You look at all this equipment and stuff I'm doing, like I just don't have time, man. This is dominate. I went to his first show because I just happened to have the night off, but I haven't been back. So, yeah, so that answers that question. But
it goes back to what you said earlier when you came to Summer Bash. You said that the reason why and the memories that you have is that goddamn snake. This dude getting in the ring, running at the whole crowd with a snake. That don't happen in Memphis. That don't happen on everybody's part. And I asked, I said, Hood Rich, why you don't do that on everybody's show? They ain't gonna remember it. He's like, they remember it here. That snake, whenever Hood Rich come to the show, that snake, they waiting for it. At Grand Stage, that's what they was waiting for that snake. People remember.
Right.
It's the matter.
But you also have to remember that the snake was implemented in wrestling before. So that was the same thing that when people
they didn't know what he had in that bag. Like he comes out with the snake in the bag, and
if you come out with a bag, what's synonymous in a bag in wrestling? A snake.
Thumbtacks. Like, hold up.
No,
First,
not
It
the way
depends
that-
on
no,
who's
not
carrying
the
the bag.
No, not
Yeah.
the way that bag was shaped. That did not look like a bag of thumbtacks. That looked like a snake.
Hey, Chris Champion did it.
You know, I mean,
I gotta use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Hank was terrible. He was traumatized. Boy, he got about that.
It's a snake.
What do you expect? Let me tell you something.
It's a
As
snake.
a man of God, anything that moves that quick with no legs, that's devil stuff right there.
It was a
oh
baby.
no! I object to that terminology. I do not take responsibility for those fucking no ropes.
You need therapy.
And okay, I carry it.
My
Go ahead, Hank.
therapist retired.
I carry like this here. As we continue, storylines were worked in the show. We were not televised, or we wasn't even streaming. But storylines were continued. People remember the whole invasion angle from Illinois was dope because they kept appearing on all from the fairground show. They kept appearing, and it paid off at the Patriot games. It paid off there when everybody showed up, and then we did the whole us versus them. It works. So good stories and leaving an impact and an impression means something to the fans. But just
Tashawn, you're right, and Johnny is both right. You see, we book a certain way because we're not televised. Now, Johnny is televised, so he's got to take that, especially the time management and the segments into account.
Exactly.
So you're both right, but you have different presentations, so you have to present it differently.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I said before I started. I was like, "There's different levels." Let's be honest. Do y'all remember when the Royal Rumble started and they wanted to get Stone Cold over, even when they did the King of the Ring? They made sure that he did a whole lot of different extra stuff, so people would make sure they focused on him. And that's what you have to do. Whenever you gotta be because I ain't trying to bring in no older guys from back in the days. What I want to do is establish my own stars. And the only thing that would separate us, and I hate to say this, but I gotta be honest. All of us was using Greg James' ring. All of us. All of us was using the same guys. What truly separated us from being the same company, other than the name?
Not a goddamn thing.
Who was using Greg James? What was
TWX used Greg James' ring. When you look at it on camera, it looks just like my show. When you look at Greg James' show, it looks just like my show.
The other BCW Brotherhood Championship, that is Greg James.
Exactly. So all three shows look just alike with the same people. So that's why people got offended when I said, "Hey, if you want to work for them, work for them. You can't work for me." Because there has to be some distinction on what show is what show. You see what I'm saying? If you look at the color scheme of AEW, you look at the color scheme from Monday Night Raw, you look at this color scheme from SmackDown, they make sure that it looks different. So it won't appear to be the same show. So the only way that we can...
Well, the thing is, local promotions cannot try to operate anyway like those big global companies do.
But you got to still distinguish yourself from
I get that, but you're telling your guys that if you're going to work for me, you can't work there. Are you paying them accordingly?
Let me say this: when it comes to paying, and that what makes me a little different than how y'all think, because and where I came from, the areas they paying you because they're giving the opportunity for people to learn who you are instead of just being around a crowd of 20 or 30 people that know who you are. You got to
opportunity. Don't put gas in the gas tank.
But that's the wrestling business. If you got in the wrestling business to get rich, you in the wrong business. I wrestled for 4 or 5 years. All I got paid was a hot dog and a Coke. But I was glad to get on the show. And guess what happened? The show that I got paid a hot dog and a Coke, Arn Anderson was in the crowd. Guess what he did? He called me over afterwards.
I'm gonna say this, and Brother Tattoo did something, and I told him this. I don't know why he never stuck to it, but he did something that was brilliant, and it was working. I don't know. He never gave an answer to what the hell. I don't know. The dude was pulling in streams. He was doing this thing where he was airing old matches of his and what like that. Well, his promotion. He was streaming it, and it was doing numbers on the mornings. And I don't know why he stopped it. It was fucking working. And but that's Darius. Darius does stuff, and I guess he don't think about it. But it was brilliant.
I just hate that the honor and the respect of the business to why guys now do it because they think they want to get gas money. It's deeper than that. The love for the business.
If we talking about, let's keep it $1.50 all the way. No, pay. Because I'm gonna say this: what's stopping this guy from doing your show from just saying, "No, what, fuck it"? Because half these cats. Prime example, Don Montana. If Don Montana just live stream and he say, I'm just gonna do me a YouTube and just live stream, he'll pull in more views than most folks. The dude, but before Don Montana came to NOCW, that was the reason why I pulled him and said, "Hey, yo, come to NOCW real quick," because I saw what other folks were not utilizing with him. Because the one thing I saw is that he was literally being played to the left. They were trying. The booking for him was like, oh, we're just gonna use him like this and use like that. But the dude, just like me, brought a crowd.
But this is what we're saying. We're talking about local Memphis wrestling that only goes to a certain perimeter.
Let me speak.
Let me speak. 500 home being syndicated, going other places.
I'm gonna speak your language then. Streaming, try to play it short if you want to. Hank a vouch for me on this one. Streaming does numbers, and that brings in advertisements on your platform. You can make more money streaming. Most of these cats, they gotta follow. Most of these wrestlers coming, if they really use their mind, they wouldn't need no television show. They wouldn't need to wait on you if you gonna pay them or not.
Well,
it's no longer the end all say all.
No, I'm not saying it is, but the question I'm gonna ask is this: if that's the case, why are these shows only drawing 10, 15, 20, 30 people?
Because you're not streaming in the first place. That's just but to be fair,
it's the wrestlers. It's them. Well, they're not used like. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Hank.
No, to be fair, it is still a new concept. So the thing about it is that like nobody, like when I hear all these streaming and stuff, I know how to do it because I've been around radio and you know, and online and stuff like that. And people don't understand the hashtags and the keywords and stuff like that. So
the algorithms.
Yeah, I can't fault these promoters and these wrestlers who don't promote themselves on the streaming because that's just the cold reality of it. It is so new still that nobody knows how to do it. So that's not a fair argument there.
Right.
That's why I said to you, no, that's why I said to you before. I said, Hank, these guys need to start looking at, I mentioned it yesterday on the show. I said, these guys need to start looking at themselves as promoters. Stop looking at yourself as just a wrestler. You are a brand. You're selling yourself. You can shake your head all you want, but you really are. You've been promoting and branding Johnny Dotson for the longest. That's what you sell, right?
Well, to be fair to Johnny,
let me make sure I make this plain. At the end of the day, with the streaming, with the when you go to WWE, you go to these other organizations, the first thing they're going to ask, have you ever wrestled on TV? It's totally different when you're doing televised matches. It's totally different when you're doing right there on the spot promos. It's totally different, especially working live TV.
When
live TV is totally different.
What time period are we talking about, Johnny? Let
me step in on this.
What time period? What time period are we talking about though? Because let me put a little perspective on it. I'm sorry, Hank. But what time period are we talking about? Because right now, NXT, you know what they're looking at? They looking at your following. They looking at what you put. There's a program that they started up right now with college students. They're not looking at what matches you did. They're gonna train you their way. And NXT was basically picking independent stars that literally had a buzz. Blake Christian, you want to know how he got noticed? Blake had been working that social media streaming and his video clips over and over and over and over.
But it wasn't that down. Hold on.
He got noticed. Not just that. It goes deep.
Blake was working TV.
Orange Cassidy. I can keep going. Darby
But all
Allin.
those guys was working TV.
They had
a
a
company.
before they, okay,
Danhausen.
look, let me listen, Dotson. You might learn something from somebody who don't know what they're talking about. I'm telling you, they're following outside. Being the Elite got bigger because they had a following outside of pro wrestling. Half the folks didn't even know nothing about their pro wrestling part. They knew about their antics. They were invested into them, their blog life. See, you looking strange because what the hell is that? They built a following. Okay, but Bullet Club it was basically blogging.
No, they was on TV over in Japan.
They were blogging.
But what does that do here in the States?
Let me interject on this one.
Hold on. Let Delvin guy say something on it because he even knows something about it. Was built off of more than just it was behind the scenes stuff. It wasn't built.
AEW was built off being the Elite because the biggest thing that the Bucks and them had going before them was Ring of Honor, and Ring of Honor you had to work hard to see Ring of Honor.
Exactly.
But like I said, the whole streaming thing and the further use of the internet is a new concept.
It's a new concept.
But guess what? 20, 30 years ago, so was cable.
Right. Exactly.
Well, Dawson, what you talking about exactly for?
Because I know where he's going. I'm going to tell you. This is what he's saying. The reason why Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee was so popular back there in the days in Memphis because we couldn't watch no other wrestling company. This was the only thing that we could see. That's why they were so popular.
You're backing what hold on, Dawson. You're backing what I just said. Okay. Damien is not announcing streaming. To many of y'all, streaming is. Go ahead.
With streaming and blogging, you can be like here in Memphis, but guess what? People in Tokyo can now see you.
I understand that.
So what? Hold on, Dave. Let me now just the picture. What I'm saying is back to my original question at hand, so it won't get lost in translation.
Come on.
If this is what you're offering, if you're offering, hey, I got local television. This cat now, some of these guys I know they got a following, and this guy's like, well, hold up, I can get streamers, I can get folks to view me like that. They can get more views than the actual show, and viewership is public access. They can see the numbers. So what's stopping them? Say, okay, well, let me see the viewership. If I got to give up going on somebody else's show, what's stopping it?
Hank, do you want to answer this? Or you want me to work it? You still got to know about segments. You still got to know about timing. You still got to know about the production. It's more to it than just setting up a camera.
The big leagues will teach you that.
Phone.
You're gonna be retrained once you get to the big leagues. They're gonna go through all of it.
No, that's why you've
been there.
No. Hold on. Let me say, Johnny's right about one thing. That's why you have developmental contracts, so you learn it on that level, so you're ready when you're up in the big leagues.
Hold on. But that's with them. Okay, you go to WWE. Hold on. Okay, prime example. I talked to Blake Christian recently. When he went to NXT, they didn't ask him, okay, all right, so you was already doing this with USA, right? Okay, so you already know this. No, they didn't credit none of that. They retrained.
You're going to do it our way.
Thank you.
Now, but in order for them to even look at you, you got to know something about the business. You got to know how to wrestle. If whether anybody tell you the truth or not, I know.
That's been discussed. They're not
going
by that now. They're picking
up Logan Paul, Snooki.
Thank you.
Fucking Kevin Federline.
Thank you.
But we're talking about that's a total another level. That's the celebrity standard.
No, Jake Cargill is not. Jordan, who's just got a WWE contract, he ain't never wrestled in pro wrestling. Never, none of them.
But what else did he do before that?
They are known. They have a following. I mean, you're not debunking anything that I just said. You're not listening, bro.
But we're talking about for the wrestling aspect.
He was not a pro wrestler. No.
Blake Christian wasn't a pro wrestler.
No, I'm not talking about Blake Christian. We named a dozen other names.
Okay, that's why Floyd Mayweather was in WrestleMania, right? Because he had a following. He was doing something else other than
he's what you call a megastar.
All right. Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal. What's happening now is that what Johnny says is absolutely correct. But here's the thing: they are transitioning. They are starting to they're transitioning into where the internet is the TV now, and the streaming is. that's where they're transitioning. Are they there 100%? No, they're not there quite yet as far as transitioning. But the thing about it is that in the next 5 years, what Johnny says, maybe 10 years, what Johnny is saying will be obsolete at this point because everything will transition to it. I'm not saying it's like that now because Johnny's
no, Johnny. I think Johnny misunderstood you. No, he's saying what you're talking about, Johnny. That part won't.
But that's not now. I'm not knocking that ain't what it's going to be. That's just like when you bought a Cadillac back in the day, you had a 2-barrel carburetor. You don't have a 2-barrel carburetor now. It transitioned to fuel injection. But as of right now, screaming is not at that level yet.
Oh, get out now. Oh, bad. Come on now. Get the hell out of here. Netflix. No. Peacock. Are you trying to tell me HBO Max, you can also go, they can live stream their games. Half of Amazon, if you want to go to Amazon Prime right now, Amazon Prime does live streams games.
We're talking about I understand the television.
Streaming is bigger, bro. It's bigger.
Wait a minute.
It's bigger.
Gentlemen.
These are facts.
If we want to talk about streaming and local indie wrestling, IWTV.
I'm not sure what that is.
No. IWTV, it's a streaming service you can get. We can watch indie shows from all across the country.
He's right.
Yeah,
Fight TV.
But
you know about that, don't you, Johnny?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trust me. Yeah, I know.
I think that we're in 2022. We are in this transition of the old and the new, and pretty soon it's going to meet up with each other.
Exactly.
And then it's going to leave the new. That's going to leave the old school. Because think about it. The average promoter out there that is looking for what they're looking for is probably in their late 40s, early 50s. They're still used to the TV.
Out of touch.
Like Vince McMahon.
Exactly. That's the wrestling business in general, though. The wrestling business has always been a step behind when it comes to culture.
Well, WB just taught us that about 10 years ago already. The WB network proved that to people. Proved just how big it was. New Japan proved that with streaming. Like, it's already been proven that wrestling has moved and shifted over. So WWE sold the WWE network in America only. They sold WWE network to the Peacock station. Right. Peacock streaming service picked them up for a whopping deal beyond your imagination. Right. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's a different type of streaming, though. That's like taking the television and putting it on the computer now.
That's all it is.
That's
again IWTV.
Hank, I heavily disagree. No, the W network that's not put because that's content. All of their content accessible. You can go back. It's not as good as the network, but it's still the same thing though.
But you got away.
Dawson think that's credited.
But you got away from your main point though. We're talking about guys on a local level, how they get discovered.
Oh, we on that too. Also, you gotta understand with Peacock, they're also viewing in on their lower shows, like the Worlds Collide. They're showcasing the folks over there in the UK and stuff like that. So they still got their low names. They're still broadcasting and showing those. So we're not getting away from that at all. So even what I'm saying is the big leagues. The big leagues are doing it.
How much does it cost on the streaming networks to get all these
Peacock's free
channels?
Peacock's free. If you get access to
I have to pay for the WWE network on Peacock.
Yeah. No, that's WWE network, but Peacock, especially if you get Xfinity, it's free. Lord knows I wouldn't pay for that bullshit.
Yeah.
$9.99 a month.
Log on. Okay, if you can log on to your Xfinity online, just do your internet service. Log on to it, and then go to your Peacock. You'll get in free. You're like, oh shit! You may be paying. you may be doing it all wrong.
If he's paying $5.99, he's skipping the ads.
Yeah. Okay, it could be. Okay.
I pay $15 a month so I can skip the ads.
So now let's be honest. When we're dealing with, and I hate to say this, but I got to be honest. What tax bracket do most people that watch wrestling is in, for the most part?
Lower middle class.
Middle to lower class.
I'm going from a marketing standpoint.
Middle to lower.
Most people on the local indies, they're not going to pay. Even if you say you can watch my show for $3.99 a month, most of them ain't going to pay that.
They don't. Yeah. Well, the reason why they won't pay it is because they don't like to be. They don't like that pressure of having to pay for something every month.
Exactly.
More people have access to Netflix than most. They have wait. I'm sorry. I'm putting like this here. This will be better for you. They have they're utilizing Netflix more than they use local channels, dude. This is a fact. You can look.
Right.
Well, see, a lot of indie shows will, instead of trying to bother with their own streaming service, will aim to get their content on IWTV.
Tubi.
I'm just gonna
say this. Tubi, WOW, Women of Wrestling is on Tubi.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Tubi, and Tubi is access free for public and local. So a lot of folks are on net. Like if you want to put your wrestling show, place it somewhere on net. Tubi is a platform that many use. If you look on social media, everybody watching these little I think it's black, is it black that be stationed on Tubi as well. So you might not be hip to it, but a lot of people are on it and they have access to it.
Right. Well, I am, because of what I do for a part-time living. But I'll say that, and I'm gonna make a heel comment right now.
Oh.
Most wrestling fans stereotypically are very uneducated and very ill-informed about how they do things. That's something that I'm saying that nobody else wants to say, and that's
around to it.
Yeah.
What kind of fans you been around?
Fans like you.
Roger said, Johnny,
you don't know that well.
No, you ain't gonna win against no streaming, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That argument. Now, I love what Johnny's doing, but it's going. I'm not gonna be that friend that's gonna lie or fib, because I'm not that guy. I'm gonna tell you that you're gonna face.
So my question would be,
hold on. What I'm saying is that you're gonna face those individuals that's gonna question. Okay, well, hold up. If you telling me this, then, well, hell, I got more likes on my page than this. Like they gonna look at the attention and what they're giving up. And if they ask you, if somebody has a light bulb in their head, they're gonna ask you, well, what is this doing for me?
So let me ask you a question. So we got all these other local promotions. All of them got YouTube channels, and they still not drawn.
I like that you just said that, because I was just gonna go there.
Still not drawing.
That's the thing about it. They just got to learn. They got to learn the algorithm and stuff like that.
Which
would be something that the next generation
they're not marketing and they're not pushing it right. Just like if you're going to advertise a TV show, you need to advertise it and make it look presentable.
Teacher Hank, can I? Okay. All right. There's a guy named Dustin Starr right now, right? Dude, like he puts on like hella makeup, right? He all of his face. But look. The dude goes live, and like a lot of people tune into his lives. But somehow he can't turn that into like people that's on his lives to shows like that. The reasons why is because most of his fans are not even nowhere around here. They're not even, maybe not in the same area. They're out there. It's like a pretty ass girl. She could be fine as hell. But then again, it's like all the guys are like thirsting on her. But then she says, hey, look, guys, pull up at my house. And like only 150 show up. Out of 10,000, only 150 show up.
My turn.
So what I'm saying, Mr. Hank, just hear me out, Hank. What I'm saying is that
I'm not saying a word.
If he utilizes, it depends on how you utilize that popularity. If you're going to shift it towards something else. Now, if he says, okay, watch my YouTube videos. Notice the YouTube videos can get views, but your following goes differently. And Johnny was crediting something that I always said about, okay, these motherfuckers on television ain't pulling up. But then again, also the public viewership the show, they ain't pulling a lot of views. The ratings went there. So that's out the question. So
when you look at Dustin YouTube channel, most of the people, you're right, it's not from here because he's packaging it with other championship wrestling shows. He got championship from Hollywood on there, championship wrestling from Atlanta on there, championship wrestling from California on there. He got all of those different shows on his YouTube channel. So his YouTube channel is not just for championship wrestling from Memphis. He got all of them on there. So the reason why he has that following on his YouTube is because a lot of people are following the other shows.
You know, as a platform. That's what I said.
So those really not his followers. A lot of them are following the other company that just happen to be on his channel.
But he still has a decent following on his like page. That's what I'm saying. Like that was the point I was making. But we're not indifferent on this one. But I see what you.
But even in that, you can have your stuff on YouTube live stream. But if your product ain't good and you get on there, come on, Mike, don't do that, guys.
You're hitting below the belt, brother.
No, I'm just saying.
I will say this. The only thing I don't like about streaming, at least on an independent level, is that because any jerk off with a camera can stream the wrestling shows and stuff like that. When you have a TV show, it's usually with merit behind it. And so
what
if
I
they
do,
yeah.
Exactly. No recording.
Yeah. And if
none of that.
I would hope nobody's streaming a show like that.
Well, I'm just saying that, like,
they do
okay, look at all of us right now. I've been in broadcasting for 20 plus years, okay? And now everybody's got a camera and can voice their opinions and stuff like that on here without paying any real dues or any merit. Same thing with streaming. So the same thing with streaming. Any jerk off with a camera can stream their wrestling show that they have in their daddy's backyard. And
that's how I feel.
And the
exactly TV, how you feel, Hank, about a business I love. Any jerk off can go buy a pair of kick pads and some wrestling shoes and some tights, and they can get in the business and say that they're a professional wrestler without paying any dues. And then they want to get paid.
It's the people that allow them.
Streaming is going to replace TV one day, but that doesn't necessarily mean I have to agree with it, because of the fact that there is not a whole lot of merit behind it, because anybody with any Joe Blow with a camera can do this.
I say streaming is
then it comes down to the quality of your product.
Exactly.
It's just like there's shitty TV shows and there's good TV shows. You know, if the wrestling show itself is shit.
Exactly.
If you had a good product, then it would be recognized by a television show, and that would be the merit that you need behind it, because those are educated individuals and a group that say, hey, I like what you're doing. It's good enough to put on TV and behind with commercials and stuff like that.
I only ran 3 of them. I only ran 3 shows.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that was my plan, to do Apple TV, to do Roku TV, do Amazon. That was my plan until I got that call from CW30.
Right. And that's good. And that's good. Obviously, I agree with Deshaun, though. Streaming is replacing the TV as we speak. But I'm just telling you what makes being on TV with a little bit more valor is that it's earned on merit, not on resources.
And it looks impressive to older companies that are not that hip to certain streaming, because if you get more modern and tech shabby or in the know, they can be like, can you get it on Tubi? Can you get it on streaming? You can't do that because we want to look at the numbers. Can we do a crunch time on that one? Also, where's the ad placement? They're gonna be asking you all these questions, but with to untrained eyes, they're like, oh, you're on TV. Oh, that's great. Oh, all right, let's do it. You can get them, but that's kind of slimming out.
My deal is probably a little different than most. See, because I own the whole hour slot, so I can put whatever commercials on there I want to. But some people.
Back to the point of it is the reason why this was mentioned was because I challenged you with the task of, okay, if you're gonna say these things and tell people, okay, look, the reasons why XYZ is XYZ is because XYZ TV, and they said, oh, okay, cool, all right, well, when one realizes something, damn, I pull this on I can pull it out. What I need to cut off.
I guess that's the kind of dude I am. Man, I wish you were.
Mm-hmm. I think that'll be mutual, because I'll tell you now. If you told me, if I come to Blood City and you told me, hey, look, this, that, I'm like, man, I know what I can do on my own. I'm not going to be held. But I don't think you see. I don't think you would do me like that. I really don't. I don't think you'd be like, all right, man, you got to be exclusive to me because there's certain puzzles and pieces to things. You know who draws what and who does what. Brock Lesnar don't got the same deal as everybody on that goddamn roster. They know.
But here's the thing:
he's a crossover.
Nobody can pull that card because they haven't been validated.
Seth can't pull that.
This is what I mean by that.
There ain't nobody up on high going, man, here's your stamp on the head. You made it.
That's true.
But here's the thing.
Who's doing the validating, John?
Okay, let's be honest. When we look at Dustin's show, whether you want to say it or not, the Gun Show is his top guy. Him and Mike Anthony.
Who's doing the validating, Johnny? Because a lot of people still don't know who the hell Gun Show is.
Well, somebody know who they paying him a whole lot of money when he go do shows just because he on TV.
The answer was simple. The person that's validating him is Dustin. That's who's validating.
But you're absolutely right.
He likes his look.
That's true.
And Brett, I talked to Brett personally. Cool dude. He's easy to get along with. He's easy to work with. So his value is a little bit more than some other folks. I'm sorry. Yeah, but so his value, so his treatment will be different.
That's that's all. See, but my thing is this: before you can try to, like the Ultimate Warrior did the same thing once he got the belt from Hogan.
Ooh,
you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But before he got the belt from Hogan, he couldn't pull that card. So you have to get out there and get some notoriety first. See, because here's the deal that I talked to with CW30 just today. If we do some numbers and we do pretty good at whatever, they'll be willing to syndicate the show. See, I'm looking for the syndication aspect.
Exactly.
Then I'm looking at fight TV.
That's why I was preaching to you before. Now, the only thing that'll be interesting is syndication. If to be literally get a contract and be paid. So now you know now it's time to start putting folks on contract. Now,
but you gotta. But here's the thing: you gotta prove yourself first, and you gotta establish your brand. I can't establish a brand when my brand look like everybody else's brand because all of the people on my show is on everybody else's show.
But that's a dream that we got to see though. What
that's marketing.
What I mean, even championship wrestling right now. That championship. Shout out to Marquez. This guy has built an empire off of the local stations. But even as big as he is, and how much he spread it out, multiple promotions. Hank know what I'm talking about. As much he spread out multiple promotions, he ain't on syndicated. That's not. I mean, that's he's bigger. He's he's really connected. He's out there. He has top tier talent on his show every now and then. He's well. I'm not gonna talk about his personal. He's doing backstage host and all that. But he's literally has legit from LA. Look at LA. Look at the station in LA, which right now they don't have that station no more. That station is defunct. But still, I'm pretty sure they're going to come back with something. I think they're going to go more back to streaming right now in LA because the LA station KW that's gone. That's defunct. It's been bought out, and then they kicked off wrestling on her. So now he has to go to another route. But to get a cable syndicated network, or to just put them on, or something like NBC or something like that, that's a whole nother level. Even the biggest ones, RCW didn't get that. That's reality wrestling. That's Booker T's promotion. So teaching that and preaching that, you talking about a feat that ain't even been met by the biggest yet. So it can't. Hopefully, it can happen. You know, hey,
Corey Macklin was syndicated. He was syndicated. That's how Triple H and Undertaker them knew who we were because we were syndicated. We was on Fight TV. All of it. To me,
that was 17 years ago. I remember that.
Yeah. Fight TV is not a syndication.
But it was everywhere. Look, when I said Memphis Wrestling was everywhere, it was everywhere.
It wasn't very long. Deshaun, that wasn't what he's talking about. Didn't happen very long. Corey only had that deal for like maybe 3 months or something like that, but it was still a pretty big deal.
I figured I was gonna say,
it wasn't for this was like 2004, 2005. It wasn't very long at all. It was just, but it was a big deal at the time because Corey, you got to remember Corey's background was in advertising and stuff like that. So he knew how to, he knew all that. So, but the problem is that they, just like in the mid 2000s, they weren't able to keep a wrestling promotion open more than a year.
Exactly. And so, and you know why? Most companies don't work because you cannot allow the prisoners to run the jail.
No, that's the whole. That's always been the
That's the
consensus.
problem. Everybody that was at Memphis Wrestling at the time, that was the top guys, was the one calling their own stuff, saying what they would and would not do. You can't run a company like that. People can say what they want to. I'm in it for a business. And if my company fail, let it fail because of me. Because I'm the one putting the money in.
Well, like I said, that wasn't the question in hand. The question was more of along the lines of, I understand what you're preaching, but at the same time, hey, if there's other options, make it worth their while. Now you say, well, I'll just chuck deuces. I think you got some thinking to do to come up with a better solution on that one, though. But just tell us somebody,
this is
chuck deuces.
Nobody has to give you an opportunity. Nobody.
Vice versa, nobody has to give you an opportunity.
Exactly. Guess what?
The one thing you need, the one thing Bluff City needs is talent. If talent writes you off, who go what?
Brother, you know how many wrestlers out here in this world that just want a shot?
But you know how many people don't care to see certain people?
Listen to what I'm saying. You only get a shot when somebody give you a shot. If nobody knows who you are, it's an honor for them to just put you on your card. That's what we was taught.
But Dyson,
if nobody know who you are, they ain't buying tickets to see you.
Dyson, that can, as we seen, a rumor can kill a promotion. It can kill a person's brand. It can kill a person's everything behind them. It can slow momentum.
I believe differently. You know what I'm saying? And that's the craziest part about me, is because this is how I look at it. No matter what rumor, no matter what somebody do to try to kill it, what God got for me is for me, and can't nobody stop it. That's how I think.
Lord have mercy.
When somebody else go to another way, if five guys leave, I believe God will send five more.
Okay. Even to the religious aspect.
I'm just saying that's how I think.
Do we really have to?
Even on faith. You get whatever you believe in, who is who, and whatever they believe in, because this person's Buddha believes this, and they're gonna it can go either way. But my thing is, that's your belief. But at the same time, I'm sorry you feel that way. That God gonna send me this person, send me that person. But God also, I believe your God is also gonna believe that you need to learn a lesson. Sometimes there's a lesson that needs to be learned.
You get when it comes to talent, like anything else, you get what you pay for.
Everybody's not expendable like that, and then when you treat people like that, that's a big problem. That's a big.
What's expendable? No, this is what I'm saying. If you work at a company, they have their own guidelines and their rules. You know what you're signing up for when you accept the job.
Right now, Johnny, you need people to believe in you and work with you. Because
listen,
you need the support of the boys.
I'm not saying I don't need the support of the board. What I need the boys to do is to buy into the vision. We done tried every other company. We done
tomato.
Everybody else way. Let's be honest now.
Tomato.
In the city of Memphis and wrestle for everybody. And where did they go? What happened? We done supported everybody. We done supported RSWF. We done supported TWX. We done supported NOCW. We done supported. So my thing is, if I come along and try to do something different, give me a shot first and see what happens. Let's try it this way. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, looking for a different result. All I'm doing is trying to do something different.
Memphis has had, now let's not get it twisted, Johnny, because all of us is watching. We hear you, but like this ain't been done before. It's like the first rodeo.
I'm not saying this. I haven't done it before.
I know what you not saying, and I also hear what you still not saying or acknowledging. Right. My thing is, with television, the things that you're asking of people, be ready to do it back and give it back. And don't
you got to build, baby. You got to build from the bottom.
One thing that it sounds like that you're saying is that talent is expendable.
That's not what I'm saying.
But listen, I'm being raw. I'm being real with you. From what you deliver, you didn't put context to it. That's probably the one thing. But when people listen, they're gonna be like, "Oh, dog, that's what he said." And that's how people can, and that's how people can twist your words too.
No, that's why I'm glad my boys, all of us, all the boys, all of us in the roster, we have production meetings and we talk. In order to make some money, you have to put the work in. We starting at ground zero. I ain't got no sponsors or nothing right now. We starting at ground zero. Let's build. Before I take any sponsors' money, I want them to see the product that they're gonna get first. Let it be on TV first. Let them see it first. Once we establish who we are and an identity of our own that don't look like everybody else's.
And let's be all the way, I'm gonna be all the way 100 like I always do. Most of the talent is getting on television just to show or to say to their moms and pops, "Hey, I'm on TV," because it sounds cute and it sounds good. But no, that's true. Come on, now, you see it, it's there. And that's why many would sell themselves short to go do somebody's television taping. It's happened to a lot of promoters out here. Like, damn, why he just run off like that? For local television, but they don't see it like that because it's the bragging rights. It's the point to say, look what I'm doing. Because sometimes you want to make it, you want to look like. That's why a lot of talent wear fake replica championship belts. They want to look like and feel like it. They want to feel like it. They want to feel like they're a champion. They don't give a fuck about if it's really happening. So let me ask the mindset.
Is it more feasible to just go wrestle outside in the ring or go wrestle in a bingo hall and you only have the same people every week, or actually try to be on television to be televised to learn the game?
I never backed that point. The point that I backed, I told you that there are the values as far as streaming, and that's not something you tried to play that low. You can't play that low. That's bigger.
Notice what I said.
I said you tried, but we counted that.
Before I got CW30, remember what I said? I signed to do the deal with Roku TV.
Should have did.
But when CW30 called, I was like, okay, let's do this first. Let's tie the money up in this first. Once we get that going, then we'll keep going to other places. You got to start at the bottom. You can't put all of your eggs in one basket yet. You got to start from the bottom and work your way up.
You're asking your boys not to work anywhere else, to not make any money anywhere else.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I said. I told them to allow us to get established.
It's part of what you're saying.
But in the meantime,
it's part of.
In the meantime, you're taking food off their table.
How?
Don't go work over here for somebody who's going to give you money.
These men are grown men. Yeah, they make the decision on what's good for them.
Okay,
I don't.
Daniel.
All I do is make the decision is what I think is going to be best for the business and long term. So you can't look at a short term deal in wrestling. You got to look at the long term situation.
Okay, yesterday, Damien, we came to the conclusion that I brought it up to where, Johnny's point. Now, Johnny's thing is that, hey, I work best like this. I don't operate like T-Sean. Yeah, maybe if T-Sean do a local television show, yeah, he'd be cool with you can go where you want to, but still do what he does on television. But Johnny doesn't work like that. Johnny's perfect. The way he's effective with promoting is doing it like this. This is how I need your undivided attention. I need you here. I need exclusive. Bear with me for a second. We're gonna do this together. Let me give me at least 4 months. Let me do my thing. And hey, now you didn't say this last part. Hey, if you ain't seeing nothing, okay, then all right, cool. Go on, do what you gotta do. Now you ain't said this, but I'm just.
But you feel what you gotta give me an opportunity to, because if we get established and we rolling, when you go work for other people, you can ask for more money.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
That's all. I mean, let's get established first, baby.
Because all is for what I'm saying, all it really is the look. It's the look. A lot of talent, they're in it for the look. Now it's business. Yeah. But the boys, it's more of the look. I need to look like I'm doing something. You know, so because most of them, their mind ain't really made up on where the hell they want to go. So right now, they want the look. Hey, I'm doing something on television, y'all. They're not. They can't. They ain't getting to the schematics. They're not. Most of them ain't even checking the ratings. They don't care about the ratings. It's the look that they want.
So I checked the rating. VCA got the best rating in the city.
When
VCA beat Dustin. You know VCA. Look it up. VCA ratings is better than Dustin's rating.
That ain't saying much.
But it's a reality though.
both of them was as low as hell. But okay, I don't. Well, you must say check. I haven't checked recently, so
Check them. I'm telling you the truth. That's facts.
yeah. But the numbers are not for local. It is as it once was. It is not impressive. That's why that was the main reason.
So let me ask the question then. So if the ratings are not impressive, right? And this is the thing that I brought up on yesterday.
Based on reach. That's what.
If Bluff City runs a show, and I got Tayson, I got the Devil guy, I got Johnny Dotson on the show on Bluff City. We charge $20 for a ticket, but Bluff City got TV to help people to see and understand who Tayson is and the Devil guy is and who Johnny is. But then you got another company called Cordova Wrestling Federation that runs once every 2-3 months, and you can see the same guys that's on TV over there for $5. But these people don't put no money in TV, no advertising, no nothing. But Johnny done put all the money in this and build these guys up to be household names. So why would Johnny build these guys up for somebody else to get the profit?
Johnny, I talked about this yesterday, and I think Damon can vouch because he was there. He was at the forefront. You know, there were people that did just that. They dropped their prices. They ran the shows before me. They did it in spite. I'm a lot of folks want me to shut up because it all happened to me.
They done stole our champion.
Johnny, you witnessed it. It was happening to me. Like many were doing shit in spite to fuck me off, but it didn't work. And and you saw my prices were still 20, 10 regular, 20 VIP.
See, but you got to understand that not only am I paying for TV, I'm paying for production. I'm paying for when these guys do their promotions. I'm doing for they green screens. I'm paying for all this stuff to package them.
That's what you're supposed to do. But that's
wait a minute. So you're paying for your TV?
Yeah.
Well then, dude, you went to TV too soon, because if the product was there, they would pay you.
Well, he would have to send in a pilot, and they would have to see. He didn't go the pilot route. When you pitch a pilot,
see, I went the route where you have to believe in yourself and you do it first, and then once you do what you say you're gonna do, then the revenue comes. So you got to believe in yourself first. Ain't nobody gonna give you something you ain't proving yourself.
But Johnny, listen to some knowledge on this one. Next time, if time around, or anybody else, if you're gonna do this, also that's something that I did mention on the last pitch a pilot. A pilot is you want to do at least 8 to 10 episodes. You know, it's like a season. You pitch the pilot to them, or like AEW just did it with Ring of Honor.
We're on the same page. I just ain't gonna go into detail of what all we discussed with my deal, but trust me, I have a major meeting on tomorrow, and so all I'm saying is, I had to do this. And I'm gonna make sure I say this. I'm not doing this to prove nothing to anybody. The person that I'm trying to prove something to is me. I'm trying to do this for me. So I know that I can do this to where I can bring Memphis wrestling back to the vision that I seen it, or where I remember. Now, it ain't going to be the old school because everything evolved. But I know that there can be a better product on television.
Also, to the listeners, this is not our way or views versus Johnny. Johnny's not the only person that runs a promotion that does this. This is informative and combative information and topics that need to be had, because a lot of stuff is just said and people put rumors and just keep that going.
Yeah, that's true. But
yeah, so my thing, the discussion is based off of, like I was getting at Johnny about, okay, so these are things that will eventually happen. Somebody's gonna look at, well, hey, I can do this. So Johnny, your answer, your reply was there. Well, okay, well, we will Chuck Deuce will part ways. My thing is, but still, if that person has value, you may have to compromise and say, all right, well, cool, we'll work this out.
But at the ground level, at ground zero, there is no compromise because I have to stay focused on my vision. As of right now, nobody else's vision really matters except for the vision that I have for the company as a business.
Take good counsel. That's one thing I had to do.
Look, trust me, I've surrounded myself.
Every king,
yes, man.
I surrounded myself with a team.
They grilled the hell out of me. You know, me and Damian butt heads, Raja butt heads, Keith.
I don't know Damian. I don't know who he is. I don't think I even probably met him.
We've met.
All of us them butt heads. You did shows. Well, you've been on NOCW, and he was in the locker room. He be quiet to himself most of the time.
And and then there's a difference in the experience, and there's a difference in, I guess, the time in and the ages. And you're right. Maybe I am out of touch.
I'm older than you.
Maybe I am out of touch. Maybe I have been. I did it in the.
Johnny, I'm older than you are.
You may be wrestling longer than me too.
I ain't going there. I'm just saying you guys had difference in ages. I'm older than you are.
we're talking about wrestling years, like in that aspect of how I've been taught of how it should go.
But one thing I can say is that if we point out that direction, or you out of touch on something, no, you may be not into it, because a lot of us, you know, we ain't hip to certain things. We may, no matter how long we've been in the game, but there's always new things because the game is always evolving.
Yeah,
that's something that a lot of people don't like. Keep changing. Yeah, that's one thing about the pro wrestling game is that the life of it evolves. It is dramatically changed. It is made more people are making money off pro wrestling than before ever, and a lot of folks don't even see it. It's crazy.
But I do believe in hard work, and man, I'm working hard at this thing, and I'm just going to operate off my vision, you know, because everybody have their own ideology on how their company should go. Like you got your own way of doing NOCW.
Dodson, these folks, when they signed with AEW, folks like Darby Allin, the contracts that they were given, these folks were getting $1 million deals. Now, reminder, they ain't never been on no broadcast station in their life. Jungle Boy, these folks were getting deals. Sammy Guevara. Like
Sammy Guevara been around for a minute though.
Not on national television like that. Oh, no,
right. But a lot of these guys worked on television other places.
Not at that level.
TV other places now.
Not at that level though.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. You got to start somewhere.
Well, I'll take that back. You know, Lucha Underground is creditable.
Yeah, you got to start. You got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere.
A lot of folks don't remember Sammy Guevara on Lucha Underground.
Yeah, you got to start. You got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? And that's where I am. You know what I mean? I just got a vision. I believe if I
think you're gonna have fun. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun because we didn't.
I'm getting great. I know that.
One thing about me and Johnny is that we'll bump head. We'll go back and forth. But why I like doing that with others because they polish. I get polished. Sometimes I learn new shit, or the stuff I know it becomes more sharper. Because that's what I feel like that's what make people great. Conversations like this and trading information polishes you well. Because some things you start learning, or you have now things in your arsenal. So
you just can't get locked into one permanent way of viewing things. You've always got to be willing to learn. Because the day you feel like you know everything, go home.
And see, and that's what I was saying yesterday. Like I told myself, like I gotta try it this way, and if it don't work this way, I have no problem altering. I ain't that dumb.
I think Johnny's gonna have the best fun. You think it's gonna be busy and hectic, but I think you're gonna have the most fun you've ever had.
I have more meetings.
Oh shit! I haven't seen any of Johnny's show, but just knowing him as I've known him, I already know that it won't be long before he's smashing everybody else's ratings.
I think he's gonna have fun.
Man, hey,
I
bro,
think he's gonna have fun.
just by you saying that alone, man, I appreciate you. Man, I thank you for, man, for saying that. Because I'm gonna be honest, regardless if anybody want to be honest or not, sometimes you get discouraged and be like,
Oh, trust me, I know.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, Johnny. You gotta look at it. See, one thing about being on platforms like this and talking, and then when people play it back, people growing under, especially the fans, they grow and understand it, and they get an opinion of you. Like, okay, they start relating to you and connecting. And most promoters don't do that. They lost touch with that. Most wrestlers lost touch with that. People want to connect with you. That's really ultimately why a lot of those guys got those big contract deals, because their personality got over on social media. And when you look at their social media, these folks had 70,000 followers and all that type of shit. So that accredits to when they promote, oh yeah, people watching. So that's something that goes along with a lot of that. So when people are looking at you now, they're looking at, they say, okay, so he's not he's an okay guy. Sometimes they look at T-Sean, oh, fuck you, T-Sean, leave Johnny alone. And they siding up more with you. They feeling that compassion is coming for you. And they want to see your product more than ever.
I take my hats off to you for yesterday, dude, because a lot of people put a jacket on people just because they don't like them. Just like somebody don't like you and I'm cool with them, they want me to automatically not like you, but you ain't never did nothing to me. You know what I mean?
It cut you off.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't want nobody to get it twisted, man. I love this business. This all I've known since I was 18 years old and I'm 44. This all I know. You know what I mean? This all I've been doing my whole adult life. So my thing is, if anybody knows that about me, I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna say this: I go hard for the church, but I'm gonna go hard for this as well. You know what I mean? I'm putting everything I got into this situation because I feel like, in reality, I'm in a position that nobody thought I would be in. Does that make sense? Well, all the naysayers, oh, he can't do this, he can't do that. You know what I mean? So I definitely got to do the best I can do and give my all at this. And then not only that.
Oh, you will. That's never a doubt.
Yeah, and for the boys too. You know what I mean? I'm doing this because I want the boys to make good money. I want the boys to be successful. I want the boys because you got a lot of boys who are getting older and they want their kids and their grandkids to see their career and leave a legacy. You know what I mean? So I'm doing this for them too. I want them to get a good paycheck to where they don't have to go and after they get their PO, they go get Vienna sausage and cracker.
I like seeing you go through this journey, and well, I watched everybody else, but I like seeing you go through this journey because it leaves, especially like, okay, with NOCW, it leaves a lane for NOCW as well. Because I watched the success, I watch you go through the hardship and all of that, because I've been through. I ain't even began to get, like, you went to TV. Just imagine if I decided to go to TV,
bro.
They would have tried to probably shoot me by now.
Say something. I'm gonna tell you something, bro. As long as
shoot you, you know they'd shoot me.
As long as they thought I was just running a show, everybody was cool. Everybody was happy. But the minute I made the statement that I was getting on TV,
man, you had so many enemies.
My paperwork.
You had so many enemies.
I was lying. They said everything. And I was like, wow, where this coming from? At first, everybody loved Johnny. Everybody, Johnny this, Johnny that. But the minute I started doing that, oh, it started switching up. You know what I mean? And I get it, but I'm going to say this and I got to go. I've been attacked more than Dustin Starr had.
You are you surprised?
When I say I've been attacked, I'm talking I done had people team up.
When they said you're not supposed to be doing this, some believe that, and we know where I'm going with that.
Yeah,
it is what it is, and but just know that everybody don't believe that, Johnny. Everybody don't think like that. This man right here, Damian, we had our bumps in the road, but he's always kept it 100 with me, and he wouldn't let nobody ride with it. Just like how you talk about Alan Steele, he ain't gonna let that ride. You know what I'm saying? That when it comes to their foolish stuff. So that's just some parts of the South and just in general, it's like that. But
And I got one more other person that rocked with me when I was in WWE, and that was Kid Cash. When me and him was tagging up,
he better be. Hey, he better be down here.
oh, he coming.
Okay.
Yeah, he coming. Mr.
right.
Henry coming too.
Yeah, I'm saying he better be coming because
I
boy.
talked to Quee Wee too. He said he was gonna come. I gotta reach Elix. If I can get Elix Skipper, I need to talk to him too.
Oh hell.
Man, if you can get Ely Skipper, you need to get a cage in so he can do his thing.
Yeah.
Nah, I hope he ain't. Is he performing like this? Oh man,
But here's the thing that I'm praying that will happen. A lot of people that I grew up with in this business are in great positions in some of these companies like AEW and Impact.
Mhm.
And now, to be honest, I have more connection in Impact than I do at AEW.
Mhm.
And my prayer is that the guys that's deserving, maybe I can be the guy that can be the catalyst for them,
Look
to
for my
talk to
own.
them, to help get them to the next level. That's
Mhm.
what, if I can see any of them boys go up there and go to New York or go to AEW or go to Impact, man, I feel like I did my job. Instead of being like some of the old timers from around here preventing us from going to the next level.
Yeah, because I once said before, the whole blackballing that due to social media and outlets like blogs and streaming, the whole blackballing thing is become very relevant. But what you're saying, guys need more of that. They need more of the people that don't mind lifting others up.
Yeah, that's dude. I tell anybody, man, I done had my day in the sun. I done did. To be honest, I done did pretty much everything I can do in wrestling except for this. Once I do this aspect, and hopefully my boys can take over after I get tired and they continue or whatever. But I done did everything I want to do. I'm not gonna make my
Be
show
fun.
about me. I'm not gonna do none of that. I'm gonna do whatever I can do to help the other boys get over.
Like I told you, it's finna be fun. Continue to have fun. The only thing I can say is I know we always
Get
make
ready for more gray hair.
yeah that and one thing I noticed that every time we leave off of people leave off WrestleChat because I always been putting positive spins and everything, but watch your back regardless, because people have hidden agendas.
Yeah.
Watch it,
Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about, man, is the East Coast bad boys, man. Them jokers there up in their age, man. They still doing flips, dives.
Did you hear me? Did you hear me over there? Like, what the hell? These dudes, man. I didn't want to talk about more of it because it's a TV, it's a taping. So
I know, but just to see them dudes
that's all
at
we gonna
their
say.
age
That's all
still
we gonna
doing
say.
that, man.
Don't say no more. But it's all we gonna be saying. That them dudes. When y'all see
Man,
East Coast bad boys, what the hell is that about? I don't know what fountain are
I
you
would
thinking?
tell anybody they was because they wasn't 6'8", 6'5". They're one of the well-kept secrets around the area,
Not to
and they
down.
get they just do.
I'm not downplaying your young tag teams, but them older guys. I don't know what the fuck. I'm sorry. I know Johnny.
No, you good. You good.
But what the fuck? Dumb dudes. They can go and they can keep going. Like I don't know.
Look, I got home. I said, man, I started dieting. I started working out hard. I said, man, I got to keep up with them, man.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I was wondering. Okay, they got the jeans on. I'm like, they move. These guys are moving in jeans.
Like they got on tights.
Ask your brother. Ask your brother. When we sit there, I'm like, me and him looking at each other confused. Like, what the heck? How are they doing this?
He
But
called me. He was like, man, who are them old dudes?
man,
Said, man, them the East Coast bad boy. They only gave them a little run on TV for a little while because it was a little political stuff going on because they were trying to get somebody else over.
they move like luchadors. They move like lucha. Like they're moving around and back. Yeah, okay, but like folks that's viewing, yo, check out the East Coast Bad Boys on Bluff City Wrestling. That's all I'm gonna say. Just all I'm saying. I'm not gonna talk about anything that I saw. Just know. I don't know what the hell, but them guys. I need to know what they. I want to know what they eating and stuff like that. Like I gotta know.
Yeah, buddy, man. But look, man.
Thank you, man.
Again. Thank y'all very much. I'll holler at y'all later.
Thank you, Johnny.
All right, bro.
Well,
And then it was us.
It looks like once again we had another fantastic episode. It went there, didn't it? It went there. You know what I'm saying? But those are conversations that we need to have. Open
We
dialogue.
should do TV. Let's piss people off.
This worse than TV. People they can get us at the palm of their hand. Because I watch when attention spikes go up in different areas because we on YouTube right now as well. So conversations like that, like if you feel like if you don't agree with me, test your information. Because one thing about it is like stuff in our head sounds good to us, or our ways sound good to us. But sometimes when we test them out with others, right? I'm talking about myself as well. Sometimes we hear how wrong we can be, or how we might be able to have another option. You know,
I mean, it all depends on your point of view. And everybody's point of view is relative to their position.
And I gotta say this too, Dot. You know, this right here, man. I'm the all-world heavyweight champion, brother.
I need to ask, when did that happen? Last time I checked,
Summer.
I thought I was the only reigning champion in NOCW.
Shout out to Big Man. I know you've been watching. Thank you, Big Man. Taking that honorable 3-cut. Tried to drown me in the pool. You snake. You bastard. But just know, whenever you're
Who's the big man? Who's the big man?
Come on, there. Oh. You know what?
Like I said,
I'm gonna drop the video.
I wasn't allowed into the mansion. Wonder why?
Not with that disgraceful and the horrendous championship title that brings blood. The thing that I didn't want no blood in the damn pool. Because I know you gonna go out and bite somebody in the head or spike him with something, and it's gonna be blood all in the pool. I would have had no Crimson Tide at Summer Bash.
Roll Tide.
But you know something, Damien? If you want to keep yapping like this too, you know what? You can get it. Matter of fact, put that title. What that title at? Put the title on the line. Let me see it. Put that title on the line. Hell, what's that dapper dude? Him? Any of you watching? If
I think the dapper dude's dead now.
If you want a shot,
I know there's a Styles guy now.
If you want a shot, you can style your name up however you want to. I know who you are, coward. Any of you watching, if you think you got what it takes, step up and I'm gonna knock your teeth down your throat. I'm the all-world champion there. Ain't nobody beat me.
Paper champion.
You gonna know what all this
Paper
is really
champion.
about. Test me then.
Paper champion.
Test me.
Paper champion.
See if it feel like paper.
Paper.
Yeah.
Paper.
Put your plastic on the line.
Ain't nothing plastic on that one, baby.
Okay, well put it on the line then. Keep talking. You can get it too.
Paper.
Uh-huh. See, y'all see you talking. That's all he doing. This Mark ass guy here is all he's doing. He don't know nothing about that gold.
Oh, no, wait. See, when you won that title, you kept armed security out front from stopping me from getting in.
Don't worry about that. Like I said, I don't need you bleeding out those places. If you would have stepped up to me, I would have iced you right in your face, and then you would have bled like that. So I don't need you bleeding all over the place.
Big man almost drowned you in the pool. Come on, man.
Okay, that was different. That guy is 6'3", black with ugly long ass dreads, scary looking. But anyways, he's done. He's a done deal. But you keep running your mouth. I'm gonna make you put that title on the line and face a real world champion, all world heavyweight champion. Just know that. All right.
I've only got one question for you. Only got one question.
Hell, it can be Johnny Dawson. I don't care who it is. Step up.
At the grandest stage, on the grandest stage,
here we go.
Who was the only NOCW champion to be successful that night?
Man, shut up, man. Okay, you gonna keep pitching that grand stage crap? Yeah, you won there. It was Austin Aries, all these people there. Alberto Del Rio on the night. It was
He don't like
grand.
me either.
Look here, let me tell you something. Bro. You did what you did. Okay, you got your title. You won. You beat out what 2 or 3 other competitors. That's that. But just know that those competitors ain't me. All right. See, this what it's supposed to be about us. But since you want to run your lip, and you are a NOCW champion, you are a first blood.
But see, you know, I remember Whiteville. I remember how you got that case. How you stole that case.
Look, man, that's in the past. But
see, that past led us straight to this present.
look,
And
bro,
see, in that past, what did I say I was going to do? I said I was going to get that. I said I was going to get that first blood belt, and you're like, no, it's retired. I go, bet,
dude. Look, that's in the past now. What we talking about is the present. Right, well, right now,
the little dummy did what I wanted him to do, and then you reinstated it, and then little dummy ran away, but didn't need him no more. And then the not 1 but 2, well 3 if you want to count Sister Soldier. I ran through them all.
Chuck, you want some of this too? Anybody, any of you flabby chumps that want to come fight me, bro, bring it. I am the NOCW All World Heavyweight Champion. Long as y'all know that and respect that, just like that John punk that was talking earlier. John, I'm gonna kick your ass just for the hell of it. But you want a shot at this?
Here
you go. He talking again. Oh yeah, he's talking.
I know how John called you out. John's not that stupid.
Okay. Whatever you are, Chuck, bring your ass and I'll whoop you too. But get in line because I don't mind. See, this is the thing. When I was the nation's champ, I fought everybody.
Didn't fight me.
You didn't step up. You dodged me.
What? I was jumping up and down.
Just know, right now, this belt here, this big bad boy, here, the nation's title, that's all that matters right now. I'm the nation's champ.
For how long? How long have you had that?
I'm the nation's champ. I'm the all world's champ. I'm all that. You say, oh yeah, you lost the nation's title. Look, man, I was cheated out of it. So technically, I never lost it.
No, I was there that night. You lost. I was there. You see, that night that you lost, that was the night that me and the Wicked One made history by bringing a death match to Whiteville.
Yeah, but you also lost that death match because of me.
Lost? Right? Was I pinned? Did I submit? Actually, no. I was twisting the Wicked One, making him squeal,
okay, Chuck,
and then somebody got up to the announce table.
Shut your mouth, Damien. Shut your
ran
mouth.
Up that ladder.
Shut your mouth, Damien.
And stole that case like a thief in the night.
Chuck, you crossed the line. What you? No, I'm T-Shawn the one beyond the one. Understand that. You ain't. What you mean? I won't be the one. I am the one. That's something that need to be. You know what, boy? Y'all is pissing me off here.
Who the hell is this Chuck?
They call me T-Shawn the one for a reason. So Chuck, tread lightly, real lightly. All right. So
wait a minute. ECW, dude. ECW been dead for 20 years.
ECW rules. Oh, okay. It don't matter. None of these rules matter. Okay. I don't care. Like, look, triple threat match. Me, you, and this whack Damien. It don't matter. Look, I'll fight either. Look, just know this. See, when you're the All World Heavyweight Championship, a title that has been to Japan, a title that has been to Europe, that has been back to the States, Vegas, that have been carried all over this place. An All World Championship. When you're the champ, everybody.
That's gonna look good on me. That's gonna look good on me.
You think you think you'll look good on him?
It look real good on me.
No, no. This title's gonna look good on me. Now I understand. Shout out to my boy, my brother, my bro, Don Montana. See, he once held the All World Championship, and I held the Nations title. But Don, his time is up. Now it's about T-Sean the One, because it's always been about the one beyond the one, T-Sean the One. That's all that matters.
But see,
Are
T-Sean
you still
the
talking?
one
Are you?
beyond the
Are you?
one. No. You forget one thing. Every devil has his day.
Man,
Marketing tagline.
I'm the one. Okay. Even Chuck knows that. Chuck acknowledged me as the one. How do you not
Oh God!
understand?
Now you're the tribal chef.
I am the one. One comes before all. Okay. All right. As long as you understand that. And like I said, being your champion, I like that. I like the ring of that. Your champion. For all you world champions out there, understand that I, I'm your champion. I am your world champion. All world champion. So I reign over all. Now I'm not being an ass. I'm not being a bad guy. No, I'm just being 100. You see, I did that there. You said 100. Understand it. I'm T-Sean the one beyond the one, all world heavyweight champion. Now, Damien, you are the first blood champion. Hoorah. You finally got the title. Cool. Now shut up. You know what? You worse than Raja. You know, this guy runs around with all those whack collectible belts, but he ain't got no all world heavyweight title. A title that was recognized by legends. A title that was created by a legend. A WWF legend to be at that. So you've seen Jerry Lawler present himself with the title. You've seen Reggie B. Fine holding this title. People have acknowledged this championship. This title has been around the way, and now it's going to be around my waist, like it should be. So, like I said, not being cocky and arrogant, I'm being truthful. All right. I'm T-Sean the One. I am your champion, the only one that is beyond the one. So now everyone knows that this guy here is the one to beat. And judging my history, I will knock any one of y'all on y'all feet. I don't care who it is or who it wants to be or whatever. I don't care what promotion. None of you whack promotions. I'm sorry. None of you um inspiring promotions got anybody on your roster that want this heat. Now, I got other business to attend to. Other business I got to attend to first. But this is letting all of y'all know. Ain't nobody finna beat me. And especially, see, I'm finna go up in some, up under some deep training. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I need to go. I need to Goku myself. I need to get to another level. So once I start hitting this training once again, and as I said, any one of y'all that want a shot at this title, you know, Pretty Boy Mike was talking about he want a shot. Pretty Boy Mike, shut up. You don't want no shot. You want a shot to sit your ass down somewhere. Ain't you finna retire? Yeah, go, blah, get out of here, peasant. Just saying. So long as y'all understand where this is going and how this is gonna go, Roger keep laughing. I'm going to three cut your ass. Okay, I'm gonna three cut some fat off you. You keep talking to me, boy. I saved your ass before. Remember that? Remember that, Roger? I saved you. But here we are. The title is around the shoulders of the person that it should have been around since day one. But I took my time. I waited my turn, and I became the all world champion. I beat the hell out of Big Byron ass. I stomped his ass to the ground. And I'll stomp anybody ass to the ground that steps in my way and that tries to take my title, the all world heavyweight championship. So when it comes to Nation Championship Wrestling, I'm the shit. when it comes to whooping all of y'all asses, I'm gonna be the one. Yeah. Keep with your riddles, Chuck, and Roger, keep laughing. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah, that's what I was doing when they was whooping your ass before I got in that ring. Remember that. You owe me one, Roger. You owe me one. You was hobbling out of the ring. And they would have left you looking like a hyena out there and ate this carcass. Chuck, you want to know when's the next show? It's gonna be at your front door. That's gonna be my next show. At your front door, kicking your ass, kicking your teeth down your throat. Like I said, look, I'm done with talking to y'all. I think y'all have really took up my time. I love talking, but we're coming up on 3 hours now. So being the one that I am, Tyshawn the one, the all-world champion, which is your champion, I think that it's time that I get you flunkies off of my live. Shut up. You ain't bringing nothing. You don't want nothing to bring. You're not pin the address. Do what you gotta do. Try me. You'll see. But to all my loyal fans and WrestleChat members, alumni, thank you. But understand, when it comes to this title, I got a joke for you. Ha ha. What did the whack ass Samoan say to the one? Huh? What did he say to the one? Not a damn thing, because he's knocked the hell out. Keep playing with me, Roger. Tyshawn the one. And I'll be out of here. Tired of talking to you lame ass peasants.